Welcome to my very short presentation on the Stardew Airbnb. We're opening up an Airbnb in Stardew Valley. Every good business needs a business plan. And therefore, what is the Stardew BNB? It's a vanilla Stardew Valley series where I open an Airbnb in the farm. Obviously, it's not going to be a real Airbnb. There's no BNB system. There's nobody's going to visit. It's only just going to be us and the spouse, but it's essentially a decorating series where I'll make it as it seems like we're ready to receive guests. The main goal is to complete the community center because we want the greenhouse. Get Grandpa to move on from this mortal coil because Grandpa can go leave us alone. Make a 5 TripAdvisor. I want to say stars, but apparently TripAdvisor, when I checked, uses these green circle rating things. So we want to get 5 of those. We want to, or at least make it a 5-star worthy destination, which means it's going to have to be fancy. How we're going to do this is through our plan of attack. What is our plan of attack? We do it for her. We marry best girl. This is Leah. Leah is best girl. That's it. Yeah. Love Leah. I love the starving artist trope, so yeah, we're marrying Leah. Also, there's a further on reason that we'll discuss now, actually. We make a farm based on best girl. We're gonna pick the hilltop farm. We're gonna make it like a ranch for goat cheese and truffle. Leah love those. Also great for like a BNB. If we like serve truffle and goat cheese, like super fancy, high-end, expensive, like authentic quote farming experience, as authentic as we can be, adjacent to, you know, country song artists. And we go with the mushroom cave because Leah loves mushroom, again, likes and loves mushrooms. Medium scale wine production. 1, great way to make money. 2, Leah loves wines. And then Leah is an artist. We can make an art installation for her. We do it for her. And of course, we want the greenhouse to make it super fancy. So, you know, we can have a greenhouse lunch experience. We make high tea, we serve wine, and then we cozy vibes all around. Which means we need to buy the catalogs ASAP. This is our initial plans. This is the hilltop farm map, unless I got it wrong. The top part is going to be orchard and farm. The bottom right quadrant, I guess, is where we'll put our 3 bedrooms with different themes. And then the ranch we'll put in the bottom left. The rest we'll improvise. I think we're gonna need to move the greenhouse somewhere in the bottom right quadrant, but that's for future Justitia to deal with. And that's it. Alright. That is the plan of attack, and now we actually play the game. Day 1, I planted the parsnips the game gave me, wrestled the controls for a bit, and accidentally killed off 2 parsnips before finally watering them. Bought 10 packets of potato seeds, planted them, foraged, said hello to a couple villagers, including our future darling wife, Leah, and gave her a gift of dandelions. And then I went to bed and leveled up foraging. Day 2, I got my first geode drop from just clearing the debris in my farm, got my freebie bamboo pole from Willy, processed the geode for an earth crystal and promptly donated it to Gunther, and collected his quest reward. Gifted Leah a daffodil. I then chopped down more trees and cleared more debris in the farm until I got exhausted and I went to bed. Day 3 is a rainy day, so I spent it foraging, planted some trees behind the house for future tapping purposes, and cleared some more unwanted things from my land. We got exhausted digging an artifact spot. We trudged our way to the saloon to sneak in a conversation with Leah, and then we exhausted ourselves. Day 4 we got a visit from Clint, foraged, talked to Leah, and cleaned up our land some more before going to bed. A very quick one. Day 5, we got our first ever harvest of 13 parsnips. They went straight to the shipping bin, save for one that is going for the community center bundle. Speaking of the community center, we went there and saw some weird looking rats. We also poked our head into the mines and delved as deep as floor 5. We also bought some more parsnip seed for the quick growing period before we got our hands on some lovely strawberries. Planted those, snuck in a quick convo with Leah, and turned in for the day. Day 6, we got an invitation from the wizard to come get high. So we did. We went down to floor 10 of the mines and got ourselves a snazzy pair of boots. We also foraged and turned in a horseradish and a dandelion for the bundle. Snuck in a quick conversation with Leah, I hope you're sensing a pattern here, and we went to bed, leveled up to foraging 2. Day 7 is a rainy day and one of our crops fell to a crow, reminding us that we forgot to make a scarecrow. So we harvested our potatoes and shipped everything -1 for community center. We make ourselves a scarecrow. We went out to forage and might as well bought and planted an assortment of seeds. And we continue to rid our farmland of errant trees and debris. We talked and gifted Leah a dandelion and went to bed. Day 8, we went out foraging mainly for the bundle. We found a daffodil and turned it in, splurged for a salad to give Leah, bonded over how we wanted an escape from our old lives, and gave her the salad for lunch. And we ended the day chopping down wood before going to bed. Day 9, big fan by the way, is another parsnip harvest day. We also continued to clear out the farm, and also we went on a journey to crack open geodes and find a leek for the bundle. Our geodes were filled with artifacts, so we donated those. We snuck in a conversation with Leah in midst of our leek hunt. We found no leek, but we found a clam and a cockle for another bundle we have yet to unlock. We also fished in the beach for a bit for a couple of sardines and went to bed straight after. Day 10 is the day we meet our lovely cat. Welcome Willow to the family. We are also setting forth today to find a leek. Again, we found no leek, so we returned to the farm, cleared some debris, and straight to bed after that. We also leveled up foraging to 3. Day 11. We went out foraging again and to find Robin's axe. We gave it back and earned our reward. We then donated our topaz that's gathering dust in our chest and a prehistoric axe we found in the ground and got cauliflower seeds that we immediately plant, but not before sneaking a quick chat with Leah. Then we went to bed that night, leakless. Day 12. We set out again for leaks and we triggered Leah's too hard event. After we suggested an art show in town, we just went straight to bed because today too we are leakless. Day 13 is the day of the egg festival, but we start the day with a harvest of potatoes. Unfortunately, a day late, we can't sell it to Pierre, nor can we ship it for money for more strawberries, but we are also still in the money because we found a leek behind our house. In a festival, we bought our net worth in strawberry seeds and dethroned Abigail as the new egg king. We planted the strawberry in the dead of night and went to sleep satisfied. Day 14 is another rainy day, and this is the day we fill the community center with what we have so far. We put in the leek for spring foraging, parsnips and potato for spring crops, sardine for ocean fish, cockle and clam for crab pot. We also went ocean fishing and turned in the mussels we found for crab pot. We also splurged for a salad as a gift for Leah and grabbed a quest reward. We then fished in the river and turned in a bream for night fishing bundle, and we went to sleep an accomplished happy man. Day 15, we got cookies in the mail and realizes that it is the start of salmonberry season, so we went around gathering a bunch of those. We chatted up Leah and gifted her a daffodil. We then went fishing in the mountain lake and found a carp and a bullhead for the lake fishing bundle and went to bed. Day 16, we went around collecting more salmon berries and did some more fishing in the mountain lake. We found some rice shoots from a chest. We chatted up Leah in the saloon, planted the rice shoots, cleared up some more of our land and went to bed. We also leveled up fishing. Day 17, the Queen of Sauce herself taught us how to cook stir fry. We also harvested our singular green bean for the spring crop bundle, cleared up even more the land near our hilltop mine quarry thing, had a little bit of a Leah break, cracked geode rocks, and went to sleep with leveled up mining. Day 18, we went foraging and fixed the bridge on the beach. It's more of a plank really. We processed some geodes and donated what we can to Gunther. We also bought, planted, and fertilized 20 parsnip seeds in hopes of getting gold quality ones for the quality crop bundle. We did our daily talk with Leah and accompanied her drawing by fishing next to her, creepily. Found and planted more rice shoots and went to bed. Day 19, Jody requested a cauliflower and we had one at the ready, so obviously we use it to complete the spring crop bundle. We then do a little bit of river fishing, taking a break in the middle to talk to Leah and found a sunfish for the river fishing bundle. Day 20 is a rainy day with happy spirits, so we just decided to spend the day in the mines. We managed to go down to floor 20 and found a sword. We quickly popped into the saloon to say hi to Leah as usual and went to bed after. Day 21 is our first strawberry harvest, which we begrudgingly sold to Pierre. Pierre sucks. To find a bigger backpack and a chicken coop. We also splurged on a salad for Leah today. We also crafted some tappers for future keg production and fished by the Cindersap Forest Lake next to Leah. We then went to bed with a couple of level ups under our belt. Day 22 is our parsnip harvest where we managed 2 gold quality parsnips. We then rebought and replanted the parsnips for more. We also bought more salads for Leah and got 4 hearts with her. We then do some ocean fishing, came back with a good haul and a couple of artifacts, and then went to sleep. Day 23 is our cauliflower harvest. Most went straight to the shipping bin with one going to Jody. I remember, don't worry. We upgrade our axe to copper and donated the artifacts we have to Gunther, netting us 9 melon seeds for next season. We talked to Leah by the river, do a little mountain lake fishing and found a largemouth bass for the lake fishing bundle. We then go to bed with a couple more level ups. Day 24 is the flower dance with a rare year 1 appearance with our future darling wife. Thank you, Salads, you are the MVP. We then went to bed extremely happy and satisfied. Day 25 is strawberry harvest day that goes in the shipping bin finally. We also bought our first 2 chickens. Welcome, John and Susan. We triggered Leah's 4-heart event where we had a heart-to-heart. We also picked up our upgraded axe and donated a ruby to the museum. We destroyed some stumps with our brand new axe and went to bed. Day 26 is a rainy day and our final parsnip harvest, and with great joy, I report that we have our 5 gold quality parsnips for the quality crop bundle. We also bought a sandfish and a pufferfish for the specialty fish bundle from the traveling merchant lady. Visited Leah's cottage in the rain and went mine delving down to level 30. And then we went to bed picking tiller for our level 5 farming profession. Day 27 we cleared our hilltop mine of all copper nodes, cracked open some geodes and donated what we can to Gunther. And then we went to bed after talking to Leah. Not a very busy day. Day 28, we got our first batch of pine resins and our first eggs. We crafted 2 mayo maker for our first mayos and went fishing in the mountain lake. Got a really great haul and went to sleep to close out the spring and welcome in the summer. Day 29 is the first day of summer. We bought, planted, and watered the seeds we need, including a whole bunch of blueberries. Praise be to the blueberries. Checked the TV for very good luck and made my way to the mines. We then barely worked our way through the dark levels of the mine. We fainted and we got carried back to bed. Day 30, we planted some trees after doing our daily chores. We also got started with our summer forage bundle with a sweet pea and a grape. We also bought salad for Leah's lunch and we did some tidal flats foraging. The spirits are also very happy today, so we're diving back into the mines. We found a large chunk of iron, which we need a lot, struggled with how weak our sword is, and made it to level 50 just barely. We then passed out. Day 31, we had Leah give us a sculpture professing some sort of feelings for us, and Demetrius hooking us up with the Shroom Cave, which we chose because see the PowerPoint at the beginning of the video. We needed more chests, so we had an emergency saunter to the mountain road for wood, and then we did our chores. We also put Leah's sculpture on display and finished our summer forage bundle and 1 root for the winter forage bundle, and maple syrup and resin for the artisan bundle and the enchanter bundle respectively. We also donated a frozen tear, an earth crystal, and a quartz for the geologist bundle. We donated a frozen geode for the field research bundle and some bat wings for the adventurers bundle. We bought a salad for Leah, giving it to her as a repayment for the free sculpture. We then went back to the mines and made our way down 5 more levels. We then go to sleep in a bed like a normal human, finally. Day 32, we donated a solar essence to complete the adventurers bundle and unlocked the final room of the community center. We then do some tidal flats foraging and fished in the open ocean the whole day through. Dumped everything we need to sell and went to bed, leveled up fishing to 5 and became a fisher. Day 33, we got our first mushroom cave harvest and added that to our list of daily chores. We got started with the common mushroom for our fall forage bundle. We then spent some time fishing for the summer fish community center bundles, starting with tuna and tilapia for the ocean fishing bundle, and then we went to bed happy with progress. Day 34, we got our 1 singular pepper for the summer crop bundle. We also bought and planted our apple tree near Grandpa's shrine thing. We then, for the 3rd day, spent a little bit of the day fishing and went to bed. Day 35. We got our first large white egg for the animal bundle. We then spent another day fishing, but this time in a mountain lake. We then finished the lake fishing bundle with a sturgeon and nabbed our first tackle. Today too, we fund Leah's dinner with a salad from the saloon, and then off to bed we trot. Day 36 is when we got our first poppy for the chef's bundle. We also decided to upgrade our pickaxe and crack open some geodes, but I then forgot that if you have a tool upgrading, you can't crack geodes for some reason. We also donated some things to the museum and turned in an aquamarine for the dye bundle. We also funded Leah's lunch today and cleaned up our farm just a tad bit. We then called it a day early and went straight to bed. Day 37 is when we got our sunflower for the dye bundle. We then spent the rest of the day fishing up a storm in the mountain lake, and then, after a solid haul, we went to bed. Day 38 is when we got our brand new upgraded pickaxe. We also decided that today is a good day to chop some trees because I'm eyeing up that barn. We then moved to the ocean to do some fishing until I exerted myself and I passed out for the day. Day 39! I woke up to the sound of about 500 less golds in my pocket. But today is the day of the luau, so we're gonna dump an iridium quality red mullet that we fished up yesterday into the soup and enjoy a tiny boost of friendship with everyone. Day 40, we have Leah inviting us to her art show in town, and we got our singular tomato for the summer crop bundle and maple syrup for the chef bundle. We also nabbed ourselves some pomegranate tree sapling and a bouquet for Leah. After giving her the bouquet and with the relationship secure, we then moved to plant our brand new tree also near Grandpa's shrine thing. We also decided that, today is a good day to pop open some geodes. And we donated what we can to Gunther, fished on the beach in the middle of crab season, green waters, very exciting. And then we visited Leah's art show and we went to bed. Day 41 is a rare day of summer rain and we got our harvest of melons ready. We then fished in the open ocean under the summer rain for a red snapper, which upon getting we promptly donated to the community center. We also restocked a whole bunch of melon seeds in the hope of getting some more gold quality ones. We then went to Slab and Pop a level up in fishing. Day 42 sees our first blueberry harvest, which we donated to the community center. We also went around Cindersap and murdered some trees. We also got a shrimp for the crab pot bundle from the traveling merchant lady and got rewarded with some crab pots. We also repurchased a melon we sold to Pierre to donate to the bundle because I forgot. And we got rewarded with our first quality sprinkler, first of many. We then went to sleep and rolled a fairy event for our blueberries. Let's go! Day 43, we nabbed the things the fairy grew and saved the gold quality melons. We also got some corns ready to harvest. And we also cleared a plot southwest of the farm for our eventual barn, which we also needed some wood for, so we chopped some. We then went to Robin, ordered our barn to be built, and feel very satisfied with some finally real progress. We donated the corn to start our progress on the fall crops bundle, and we went to bed with a level up in farming to 6 and foraging to 5, which we picked Gatherer. Day 44, we sent in our axe for some upgrading to iron and did some foraging at the beach. We're still funding Leah's lunch with the saloon salad every day we can, and then do some more ocean fishing until the day grows late. We then donated a sea urchin for the dye bundle and a morel for the exotic foraging bundle, and that is our day complete. Day 45 is another day of rare summer rain, and we nabbed a lucky purple mushroom from our cave for the exotic foraging bundle. We then buy an upgrade to our rod and some bait to tackle fishing in the mountain lake. We got lucky with a diamond in our first cast, and after calling it early, we triggered another heart event for Leah. And we also gave her another salad. With business out of the way, we continued fishing in the river, and after that, we called it a night. Day 46, we got a notification that our new axe is ready, but not before we harvest our blueberries and another singular hot pepper. Our barn is also complete today, so we bought an cow and starting the trend of naming our animals frat boy names, and we called the cow Jackson. We finally then reclaimed our axe and surrendered our pickaxe. We chopped down the log that blocked the enchanted forest and the similar log we have around our farm. Those are ugly and needs to go. We also got a fern for the chef's bundle and some stone and hardwood for the construction bundle. We then called it a day and moved the date forward. Day 47, we got what we nicknamed the off-cycle blueberry harvest. Those are the blueberry that the fairy grew. We then paid a visit to the traveling merchant lady and found ourselves buying a coconut. We then fished in the enchanted forest for a wood skip and moseyed on over to the tidal flat spear to do some more fishing. After night has fallen, we donated the wood skip and the coconut to their respective bundles, and then we went to bed. Day 48, we got pinged that our pickaxe is ready, which we immediately grab and straight to the mines after. We gathered a healthy bevy of resources, found a dagger on the 60th floor, and we decided, in hindsight, a bad decision, to use it. We managed to barely get to floor 65 with our life intact and decided that it's best to call it a night. Day 49. Luck is on our side today, so it's another day toiling in the mines. But before we go there, we donate artifacts to Gunther and stock up supplies from Gus. And decided that it's time to upgrade our bad sword with a better one from the Adventurers Guild. And let me tell you, boy, the new sword is a big game changer. We got stuck in floor 69 for a bit, nice, before calling it a night after getting new boots from floor 80 and our first Omni Geode. Day 50 is another big day of blueberry harvest. We also donated some more minerals to Gunther, as well as a red mushroom for the exotic foraging and a crystal fruit for winter foraging bundle. And then back into the mines we go. The plan is to get to the bottom before the year ends, so we're going hard while we don't have much going on back at the farm. We got to floor 90 and got the obsidian edge, and we pass out in the back mountain road leading to our house. Day 51, we are thankful that Linus is the one picking us up because we incur no loss of cash nor resources. We are getting an off-cycle harvest of blueberry and some corn, and we make a bunch of furnaces because we need to smelt more ore. We also start to again chop down cinder sap because we want more chests for a higher degree of specialized storage. The corns that we harvested today is actually enough to get us to 5 gold corns for the quality crop bundle, and we found some fire quartz yesterday, completing the geologist bundle for some omni geodes. Today too, we bought a salad for Leah. That's everything in the docket completed, so we decided to call it a night after smelting some more ore in preparation for further upgrades and sprinklers. Day 52, Emily sent us a bit of wool, so we immediately donated that to the animal bundle. Today too, we give Leah a salad from the saloon, and we managed to get to 10 hearts finally. Marriage needs a house upgrade, and honestly that is not high on the priority list because we want to upgrade our barn and coop especially. That being said, we triggered her 10 heart events and we get to see her stalk her ex in the face, so that's pretty neat. We also need a ton more wood, so we're doing a little deforestation action. And then we went to bed. Day 53, we got our big harvest of melons, and I'm happy to report we have the 5 gold quality melons we need for the bundle. But before that, we are heading to Robin and ask her to help us with the barn upgrade. And then we completed the quality cross bundle and got ourselves a preserves jar. While we were in town, we also donated some artifacts to Gunther, and we got a painting, which is neat. We then got what material we need for the cheese press, and we get our first one so that we dump today's milk into it. To round out the day, we are going to go do some ocean fishing. And before we went to bed, we got our first cheese and donated to the artisan bundle. And we also leveled up farming and fishing. Overall, a very solid day. Day 54, we got a lucky third day of rain in the summer and harvested a number of blueberries. We are also heading south to gather some more wood to upgrade the coop by the end of summer, hopefully. We also cleared up some debris and stones from the quarry to round out the day, and off to Dreamland we go with a level up in foraging and mining, picking geologist as our profession. Day 55, we harvested the rest of our blueberries, praise be the blue bulbs that carries my summer. And today is the day we got our first goat, which we will name Chaz. We completed George's request for a hot pepper, begrudgingly sold our produce to Pierre so we can get money for our coop upgrade today, and make our way to Robin to ask for the big coop. The lady in the TV said that the day is in my hands, so these hands are going mining. And I gotta say, for a neutral luck day, we are hitting these stairs real fast, real quick. We actually managed to barely get to floor 100 and eat our star drop. We then straight beelined back to the bed, and made it just in time, and we even leveled up combat. Day 56, we cleared the farm of unwanted vegetation and we decided that arbitrarily again, today is the day that we crack open some geodes. The most exciting result is the measly 2 iridium ores, but hopefully they'll add up. We then donated what we can to Gunther, and we also donated the jam we made to the artisan bundle. And we completed the blacksmith bundle, and in turn the boiler room, where we got rewarded by a furnace. We then round out the day and the summer like we always do, by fishing, but this time we're fishing in the river. We then enjoyed the dance of the moonlight jelly, and thus our summer ends with the Junimos fixing the minecart. Day 57 marks the first day of fall. We clear off the field of everything but the leftover corn to make room for our 9 quality sprinkler, which is the start of our move towards glorious automation. We start gathering our forageables for fall on our way to Pierre to buy the almighty cranberries. On our way back, we donated a hazelnut and a wild plum for the fall forage bundle. We plant our new fall seeds and gather our first animal produce for fall, and with that, we end our first day. Day 58, our coop upgrade is done. And we will add getting a non-zero amount of ducks to our to-do list, but for now I am broke. We actually managed to get a large cow milk today, so we donate that to the community center animal bundle. And we then make our way to the mines. Starting at 101, ideally I want to finish the mines this season. Maybe even within the week if our luck stacks up nicely. But we actually fainted in the mines, and despite just losing an amethyst and 200G, it's still a pretty big L. Since the night is still young and I could have gone further down if I didn't make the dum-dum move. Day 59, we clear up the farm from debris after doing our chores, and we decide to spend the rest of the day river fishing. Day 60, we got our first goat milk, so we'll need to make one more cheese press. And thankfully we were only missing the wood component, so we can just immediately sort that out and plump down one more cheese press for the extra cheese production. We also took today to buy some more cranberry seeds, and on our way back we donated the tiger trout to the river fishing bundle. A single shell looking thing to Gunther, and make use of the newly fixed minecarts to go home and plant the rest of our cranberry seeds. We spend the rest of the day fishing more in the river before calling it a night. Day 61 is a rainy day and we got a quick harvest of corn. We also bought a couple of ducks, so please welcome Maddie and John with no H to the family. Today too we hunt for fish in the river, but we filled out our inventory with some solid haul, donated the shad and catfish to complete the river fish bundle, and got some bait for our troubles. And then we call it a day. Day 62 is our first day of eggplant harvest, saving one for the bundle and our first apple from the apple tree we planted a while ago, which will also go in the bundle. On the way to donate those, we scour around for the blackberry that we also will donate to complete the fall foraging bundle, and it will reward us with some fall seeds. We also decided to spend the rest of the day fishing in the ocean this time, and we filled our inventory, shipped it, and called it a night and enjoyed a fishing level up. Day 63, we are gathering lumber for an undecided upgrade. Whatever we choose, however, will need a lot of wood, so we're starting early. We nabbed 300-ish wood, which is a decent haul as we go home and end the day. Day 64 is our first day of glorious cranberry harvest. We got a new baby chick whom we'll name Dennis. We also got mailed a pink cake. And Linus was asking for our help, so we promptly find and give the basket back to him. We continued on our deforestation spree today, netting us a grand total of 450 odd pieces of wood, and we asked Robin to upgrade our house. We cleared out our quarry on the hill for some stone and resources, and we then spent the last bit of our energy to do some night river fishing. We did the level in mining as we moved the date forward. Day 65, we got some more corn today, in which we saved the gold quality ones for the festival Grange display. We then continue to further deforest Cindersap because we still need an upgraded barn and coop. We also need to make one more scarecrow because one of our cranberry actually fell prey to a crow last night. Rest in peace. We then spend the rest of the day to fish in the open ocean and call it a night after our energy ran pretty low and the day ran pretty late. Day 66, our ducks have grown and we have our first duck eggs, which means we need more mayonnaise machines. Luckily, we have the material on hand and we crafted 2 more mayo makers and a beehive to hopefully get the artisan bundle in time for a glorious year 1 greenhouse. We then donate a duck egg and a large goat milk for another cheese press. We then further upgrade our rod to the iridium one and spend the rest of today fishing in the ocean yet again. Day 67, we have our first house upgrade done and a big harvest of cranberries, eggplants, and yams. We then replenish our seed with pumpkins and some amaranth, which we'll need for a quest sooner or later. We then donated one of our yam to the fall crops bundle, and we spend the rest of the day fishing in the mountain lake. We then go to sleep and we ding a level in farming. Day 68, we have our first pomegranate, which goes straight into the bundle alongside a goat cheese to the artisan bundle, which I have forgotten all this time. Shh. And we have decided to go into the mines today, utilizing the pink cake to delve to 110. And with 10 more floors to go, we call it quits and sleep for the day. Day 69 is another harvest of cranberries. We then gather loads of wood from Cindersap before deciding that today too shall be a mining day. We made solid progress up to 115, so 5 more to go. Feeling good about it, we call it a night. Day 70 is another good luck day and we got our harvest of pumpkin and corns. We also got our first honey and that goes to complete the artisan bundle and the pumpkin goes to complete the fall crops bundle. Completing these bundle means that we're done with the pantry and we successfully got a year 1 greenhouse. Let's go! We replenished the pumpkins with more pumpkins, got our first of many kegs and decided that today we will finish the mines. And upon reaching 120, we get this skeleton key. And then we go home very satisfied and happy. And with the Junimore repair on the greenhouse, we go to move the date. Day 71, we decided that today is a good day to crack open some geodes. We donate what we can to the museum and got rewarded with a too little too late pumpkin seeds. We also decided to pull the trigger on the deluxe barn, buying the difference in resources that we lack. This will hopefully get some pigs ready by spring of year 2 for some good truffle action. And we spend the rest of the day chopping some more wood and called it a day. Day 72, we got some more cranberry harvest and some eggplant. And then it's time to mosey on over to the Stardew Valley Fair, where we set up the display and we always bet on green. We actually won the Grange display contest, no contest really, and we managed to get the coveted star drop as well as some other things. We called it a day after getting all our spoils and screwing over Pierre, and straight to bed after shipping all the things we used for the display. Day 73, we finally remembered that we have a dino egg gathering dust, so we popped that into the incubator. We then continued again to chop wood, this time in hopes of getting more kegs, so we get that sweet wine money rolling in come winter. It's high time to actually finish the construction bundle and we got a charcoal kiln for our trouble. We spent the last of our energy to fish in the river until night falls, and we decided to call it for today. Day 74, we got a harvest of cranberries and corns, as well as a couple bunches of amaranth, which we will give one to Marnie. We then continue to chop more wood, and after judging that we indeed have a lot of wood, we get started on producing the initial mass of kegs needed for wine production. We then called it quits for today and leveled up foraging. Day 75, Granny Evelyn gave us a nice pot which we install in our greenhouse, effective immediate. With our initial 5 kegs, we use them with the apples and pomegranates we got from trees, but we hope to get more still. Today is also the day I buy the first of the pigs, so welcome Jay to the family. We then do some clearing up on the hill quarry, and to continue farming for stones, we head to the mines. We then call it a day with a decent haul and go to bed to level up combat, which we will pick fighter for our profession. Day 76, we got affirmation that our cat indeed loves us. And we go around the map chopping wood yet again. And then we went into the mines and to farm more stones. And that's the day, really. We call it a night and then we go to sleep. Yeah. Day 77 is a good day for rain. We get a harvest of eggplants and cranberries. The reason it is good is that today is finally the day we get to propose to Leah. She said yes. We celebrate by fishing in the ocean for the rest of the day because we love fishing and we love Leah. We even caught an eel, and I believe it is in the nick of time to complete our night fishing bundle year 1. We finally got our first glow ring. Amazing that it took us 77 days. Very much long overdue. We also got our first wine done, and it is straight to the shipping bin before bed. Day 78 is the day we ask Robin to upgrade our coop, again paying the difference in materials. And with this, the core of our money-making scheme is up and running. We also pay 2500 G to the vault bundle because we need the bus up and running if we want to buy some starfruit seeds from Sandy day 1 of winter. We then went into the mine to look for a ghost fish and spend the rest of the day fishing in the mountain lake. We donated the ghost fish and completed the fish tank for some dish of the sea. Called it a day and watched the Junimos move a boulder and leveled up our farming and fishing to 9. Day 79 is a day for more cranberries and more wood chopping because we still need more money and more wood for the bus and more kegs respectively. After we cleared Cindersap, we finished our day by fishing in the river. And after our fishing session, we decided to call it a night and go to sleep. Day 80 is the happy day of our wedding. The fedora looks particularly ridiculous, but we continue the day with our head held high, fedora still on top of it. We also got a harvest of pumpkins, saving one for Caroline's request. We also make another mayonnaise maker, so we have an exact amount we need on a full produce day. We then buy a silo from Robin to prepare us for a more convenient winter. We then also purchase the 5000 G bundle in the vault. And we make more kegs, bringing our total up to 15. We then go to sleep next to our lovely wife. Day 81, to our surprise, we found Leah has bought us a pretty neat looking end table. The first time I've ever seen it. Honestly, I've never known that spouses can buy things for you. And we get another harvest of pumpkins. We then bought the 10k G bundle in the vault, leaving us with just the 25k one left. We plopped down the lightning rod we got near our greenhouse and moved to the mountain lake to spend the rest of our day fishing. We then got some wines ready to ship and we go to sleep after that. Day 82, we got another harvest of cranberries and eggplants, and we finally chopped down the 3 amaranths we got just lying around. We fished up an artifact for Gunther yesterday, so we went on to donate that today. We decided that fishing in the ocean for the rest of the days is a good time, so we do just that. After we fill up our inventory, we decided to pack it up and call it a day and go to sleep. Day 83, we are very optimistic about being able to get the bus in time. But I am very skeptical about being able to buy a good amount of starfruit seeds going into winter. Not to mention that we need to spend some money on speed grows on top of the seeds. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, we'll just continue to gather wood from Cinder Sap and some hardwood from the secret forest. And then we decided to just fish in a mountain lake to chill before the Spirit Eve festival. In the festival, we talk with everyone, we win the golden pumpkin from the maze of horrors and weird creepy fiddly bits, and we go home for the night. Day 84 is our last day of fall, and I am happy to report that we indeed have enough money for the vault and for a good amount of starfruit seeds and speed grows. Because we have a last lucky harvest of cranberries, praise be the red fruit. So we finish the vault bundle, grab our crystarium and start replicating the jade so we have stairs ready for the skull caverns. We end this season by doing what we love most. Leah, I'm kidding, fishing. This time in a mountain lake, and we wait for time to tick down. We also did not forget to prep for tomorrow by moving all of our sprinklers into the greenhouse, and we pre-till the soil. We also got a surprise baby dino in the night, so welcome Trevor to the family. And with that, we call curtains on fall year 1 of Stardew BNB as we watch the Junimo fix the bus and winter dawns. Day 85 is the start of winter and a big haul of veggie juice. Winter is gonna be spent decorating and laying the groundwork for our actual, finally, BNB, but first, we need a decent amount of starfruit seeds. So we go to Sandy, we bought 24 packets, and we are headed to Pierre for some speed grow. This will be the core component for our winter money making. We also donated a crocus and a snow yam to complete the winter forage bundle and the craft room, giving us access to the quarry. We doused the soil in the greenhouse with chemicals and planted the starfruits, as well as some winter seeds that we got as a reward. We then spend the rest of the day looking for errant trees to chop down before going to bed and watch the Junimos repair a bridge. Day 86, we clear out our hilltop quarry in hopes of moving buildings up there. We then remembered that Robin is closed on Tuesdays and we are definitely not good enough friends with a wizard to use his weird platform thing. So we then just get started on laying down the cobblestone path that will go all around the farm before going to sleep. Day 87 is the day we can finally move our buildings around, as well as building the 3-player cabins that will serve as the separate rooms for our make-believe bed and breakfast. We also donated a bunch of stuff to the museum, stuff that's been laying around in our inventory for a good bit now. We also moved our animal product processing station near their respective buildings, and we spend the rest of the day cleaning up the newly opened quarry. We even got lucky with our first ever prismatic shard drop. Nice. We then go to bed and leveled up our mining. Day 88, we laid down more cobble paths and some fencing for the ranch area. We also chose today as another day to do some good old geode gacha. All in all, we got some decent stuff we could sell as well as iridium ores, and with what we already have previous, we are able to get ourselves 2 iridium bars. So this will be the groundwork for our future iridium sprinklers. The rest of the day is spent cleaning the quarry and going to bed. Day 89, we took our 2 iridium bars out of the furnace before remembering that we needed to buy heaters for our animals. Whoops. Also, the traveling merchant lady was selling battery packs, and upon convincing, we actually bought 2 to immediately make our 2 iridium sprinklers. We also spent a good chunk of the day laying down more paths, alternating between cobble, stepping stone, and gravel wherever appropriate. We do eventually run out of stone to create more paths, so we resorted to spending the rest of our day chopping more errant trees before going to bed. Day 90 is a day where we are short a bit of money for what we want to do, which is to build a shed. So it goes on the back of the priority list for now. And we decided to spend the day fishing in the open ocean. We do get a nautical shell for the field researcher bundle, so that's a little nice extra before turning in for the day. Day 91, we got a visit from Pierre, and a quick reminder in the mail that tomorrow is the Festival of Ice. We also got our first dino egg, and we will be shipping our first dino mayo by the end of the day. We also finally remembered that we need a red mushroom for the dye bundle and donated such. We then spend the rest of the day mining stone and laying down paths for the farm before going to bed. Day 92, we got our harvest of winter seeds where we turn our crystal fruit into wine and ship the rest. This reminded me that I have other seasonal seeds and the non-functional iridium sprinkler, so it's a good time to put them to work rather than waste away in the box unused. We visited the Festival of Ice and iced Willy in the fishing competition. We got a bunch of fishing goods and a nice new hat. We also decided to donate the crystal fruit wine to the Enchanter's bundle because I finally remembered before calling it a night. Day 93, we got a star drop from our lovely wife, best girl, Leah. We also decided that today is a good day to get more stone, so we went into the mines. And post mine, we laid down even more cobble path, completing our network of paths before going to bed. Chaz the goat mysteriously gave birth to a baby somehow, and we welcome Joel into the world. Day 94. The new baby goat, honestly, well, unprecedented, was welcome because we needed more goats. Anyways, today too I have decided to spend the rest of the day fishing in the ocean while we contemplate on what to do with our money. We called it a night after an inventory of fishes, and we got a witch event for a void egg, which is honestly very exciting. Day 95, we incubate our newly gotten void egg and spend the day a bit lost on what to do. We decided to pull the trigger on the flooring and wallpaper catalog from Pierre, and we also trigger Abigail's Too Hard event. To round out the day, we spend our time fishing in the mountain lake, cleaning up the trees in the farm and laying out paths around them to prevent unwanted spreadage of foliage, as well as laying down the previously gotten gravel path to Grandpa's shrine before heading to bed. Day 96, we gamed the system by gifting Leah the salad she gave us. Today is also the first day of starfruit harvest and the winemaking begins here. The wizard also requested a shadow essence, so we might as well mosey on over there to get a little bit of cash. Also, now that the first harvest is upon us, we need to replant the seeds, but we only have cash for 12, which is, better than nothing. We also unknowingly bought more speed grow despite it being, as it turns out later, unnecessary. And we also remembered that the dye bundle needs a duck feather. The day is very all over the place, so we call it a day after honestly not really doing much. Day 97, we just mined a bunch of rocks in our farm quarry and a quarry to make more paths. We planted spring seeds in the open slots left by the starfruit and called it a day, really. Very short and more uneventful than the last. Day 98, we get our first red cabbage seed from the traveling merchant lady, and we also notice that we have enough hearts with Marnie to get Lewis's short. I am of course a reasonable person that will not be returning it to the mayor. Instead, I think I know what to put in the luau hot pot for year 2. We finish out the day by doing what we love, fishing. This time in the open ocean. And when we got home, we actually got our first big batch of wine. It's just crystal fruit for now, but it does open up the kegs for the beginning of our starfruit wine production. We also leveled up fishing to 10 and became an angler. Day 99, we got a huge harvest of summer and autumn forageables, which we shipped immediately and planted the rest of our spring one in their place. We also donated some artifacts to Gunther before heading to fish in the sea, and finding out today is day 1 of the night market. We then fished until the night market starts, bought decorations including the painting, and called it a night after decorating the entrance to the guest cabins with seasonal potted plants and things. Day 100! We got another harvest of forageables, and we again fished until the start of the night market. During the night market, we bought the painting yet again before deciding to call it a night. Not exactly a climactic ending to 100 days, but we ain't stopping here. Here is the rest of the winter supercut. Our void chicken Brandon hatched. We welcome him to the family. We bought the final painting from the night market, and we even went on a little submarine adventure, catching weird fishies in the deep dark abyss of the ocean. We made a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money, from starfruit wine, and we bought more pigs. Welcome to the family, Gary and Trandor. We also have the Galaxy Sword, which we'll probably need to take down the Skull Cavern. We even bought the final backpack upgrade finally. It took us this long. And so we end year 1 by giving Robin her spaghetti. We receive a glow ring from Abigail. And we just fished a whole bunch. Yeah. Psst. Hey, this video is a part of a series. Here's an iCard link if you haven't watched part 1. Welcome to Stardew Airbnb Year 2. This is a quick business plan that I put together based on what we're gonna do in Year 2. On top of what we have already accomplished on year 1. For year 1, our big picture stuff is that we built on the hilltop farm. We do everything that Leah likes, which is the ranch for goat cheese and truffle, mushroom cave, wine, an art installation of some kind, and then a greenhouse lunch experience because nature and just cozy vibes. And we planned on 3 bedrooms with different themes based on the max number of cabins we can have, and we will improvise the rest. Year 1 was more on the accruing capital side of the business, so year 2 we can build. What we've done so far, most important, we married Best Girl, and then our money-making loop is locked and loaded. We have the wine production as well as the animal produces, and we are most of the way done with infrastructure. We are missing 2 sheds for our initial buildings that we want, and we completed all the important parts of the community center, which is all the bundles except for the bulletin board. And so, with all this done, what are our plans for year 2? Number 1 is the most obvious: construct and upgrade infrastructure. A little bit of initial planning is that, as you can see on the picture, we want the 2nd level of the stone cabins and not the 3rd. Even though the 3rd has a very lovely blue roof, the stained glass window I think is a little bit overkill for a guest cabin. So we're sticking with the 2nd level of upgrade. And then we need to do a successful Skull Cavern run because we will need iridiums. Heaps and heaps of iridiums. At least 5, because I've never done Ginger Island and I want to do Ginger Island. And then we need to actually finish the community center bundle. We're missing 1, so it's not going to be too hard, but we need to get it done. And the last one is start decorating already. This is a decorating series and I've been holding off. We're just missing the furniture catalog, and after that we are home free. We can decorate all we want. With that in mind, let's get to gameplay. Day 101. We start our spring of the new year with a cheeky bit of dialogue. We are introduced to Kent, Jodie's husband and Sam and Vincent's dad. Gunther came by to say thanks. and we triggered Leah's 14 heart event, something that is absolutely new to me, so I'm excited to see what it's about. I'll give a quick rundown today of our daily chores as precedent for the rest of the year. We start by gathering what harvest we have from the field or the greenhouse. We let out the animals, gather and process the animal produces, and we harvest our mushrooms. Today is spent prepping the field, moving the unused quality sprinklers from inside the greenhouse to outside, and going to Pierre to buy heaps of potato seeds and planting them. We then spend the rest of our day cleaning what debris we can from the farm, clearing grass from places we don't want and planting them where we do want before calling it a night and catching our first sleep of the new year. Day 102, we did more cleaning for the farm, bought more grass starters from Pierre and planted more grass in the ranch area. We end the day fishing for the first time in year 2 before we head to bed after shipping everything. Day 103, we triggered Leah's 14 heart event because we forgot yesterday, and I liked it. The painting will be proudly and prominently displayed in my house somewhere. We wanted more oil makers, so we go to the mines to kill slimes. I did eventually discover a better way to get a lot of slimes later. After our little excursion, we crafted and popped down our second oil maker before going to catch some Z's. Day 104, we dropped by the museum to realize that the dwarf scroll we had gotten were a repeat and we needed the yellow and the red one instead. We dropped by Krobus and checked their inventory before stealing our resolve to save for the furniture catalog instead of buying the star drop now. Today too, we spend the rest of our time in the mines looking for some slime before we call it quits for the night after shipping what we can. Day 105, we found out we forgot to close our barn door, something that is fine in this game, but my deep-rooted Harvest Moon trauma is kicking me somewhere in the back of my head. We bought even more grass starter from Pierre today. I swear most of my transaction with that sleazy son of a gun is just grass starters at this point. But we needed to plant more in the ranch area. Today too, we engaged the slime murder machine protocol, and after calling it at 10, we headed home, shipped the things we can, and then we rest for the day and leveled combat to 6. Day 106, we got a big harvest of starfruits, so we dumped what we can into wine production and saved the rest for further wine production. We visited Sandy to reload our supply of starfruit seeds. We then go home, planted the starfruit in our greenhouse, and murder some more slimes until the day is late. We did also plop down another oil maker before going to bed that night. Day 107 is our first day of spring rain, which is my third favorite kind of rain, and our first harvest of potato. This will go far in funding our want for strawberries, and the plan for this year is to buy strawberries that we can plant this year and next year so we can plant them on the first day of spring, maximizing harvest. We did swing by Pierre's to refill our crops with a mix of parsnips and potatoes before heading to the ocean to fish. Sebastian did run into us and chose violence with something along the lines of the ocean being better when enjoyed alone or something. Well, tough luck, buddy, I was here first, so your emo ass can go kick rocks. Sebastian did eventually leave us alone. We got a Neptune's glaive, which is actually not a glaive at all, and eventually call it a night. Went home, planted the seeds we bought earlier in the day, and headed to bed after. Day 108 is the day I finally discovered Krobus sells 50 slimes on Mondays. We crafted and plonked down another oil maker. We then spent the rest of the day fishing by Dwayne and called it a night when it got late. Day 109, we got wise that we actually needed hardwood for more things down the line. So we saunter into the secret forest and chop down some stumps. We decided that today too we will fish, but this time in the Cindersap Forest Lake. Every once in a while, I like to check in on Hat Mouse, where we bought the official hat and decided to go on a bit of a foraging run. We've also been smelting gold, so we'll be able to upgrade our tools very soon. Day 110. We chopped down stumps in the secret woods, something you'll have to get used to seeing because we need a lot of hardwood. We also chopped down some normal, ordinary wood because we'll need them to build sheds We then go home to sleep after amassing 600 logs and leveled foraging to 9. Day 111. We gamed the system for the first time in this video. Giving Leah her own salad is probably one of my personal joys. It elicits a tiny giggle every time I get to do it. We have a harvest of parsnips today. We then go to Robin and finally buy the furniture catalog so we can hopefully actually start decorating, which is the core promise of the series. For now, I'll start by getting a bigger TV. We didn't forget to collect some hardwood today. We stripped down the cabins of furniture and discover that we can't move beds unless we are the cabin owner. That means I'm gonna have to figure out some weird controller gymnastics, but that is for future Justitia to deal with. For now, we'll just spend the rest of the day fishing the river before heading to bed. Day 112. We headed to Robin to ask for our first shed. We're also keeping at the hardwood grind. We have our first big wine pop of the year, which we immediately ship and replace, and we spend the rest of the day fishing in the Cindersap Forest Lake before it's time to go to sleep. Day 113 is our potato harvest day and is the day for the egg festival. We bought some decorations and a whopping 100 packets of strawberry seeds for this year and next year. This year too, we are the adult that's actually too old for the egg hunt and beats all the kids and the rest of the adults at the egg hunt. We only got cash from it, so it was a little bit too much effort for too little gain. We didn't even plant all that much of the strawberry seeds actually, but hey, more for next year. Day 114 is another day of spring rain. We paid Pierre a visit for some orange saplings to plant in the greenhouse. Because they're the prettiest trees and the greenhouse is going to be a dining experience for our guests, so we needed to look nice. We also bought a lot of grass starters for the ranch area, and we did a quick work to plant those and went fishing in the ocean. We ran into Sebastian again, so we decided to annoy him and ignore his wish to be alone and fish right by him before calling it quits for the day. Day 115 is the start of salmonberry season. I don't know how relevant they are for a year two, but I gathered them anyway. My ranch shed is done, so we went to Robin and asked her to build another one, this time for wine production. We move our animal produce processing stations into the shed. It's also Monday today, so we visited Krobus to buy 50 more slimes, craft our oil maker, and plop it down. We also didn't forget to collect our daily dose of hardwood before heading to bed. Day 116 is more spring rain and more chopping hardwood stumps. We did a quick foraging run for salmon berries and forageables. We also tried out the daily quest board thing because I've never actually done one of these. So I did a quick fish for an eel, gave it to Sam, and then we continued to fish before heading back home and to bed. Day 117 is another day of starfruit harvest. After that, we did a quick jaunt into the desert to replenish our supply of starfruit seeds. We also gave Granny Evelyn the leek she asked for a couple of days ago, and then went on a short foraging run on the beach for materials to craft speed grows. We also rearranged our greenhouse arrangement. We lack the necessary amount of speed grows to encompass all the starfruit seeds we have, so we plant what we can now and wait for tomorrow. We then popped in a truffle into the chef's bundle, and to close out the day we headed into the secret woods to chop down some hardwood stumps before calling it a night. Day 118. We start out with our usual hardwood run, and while we're there we headed to Marnie to replenish our animal feed silo and buy a pig and a cow. Welcome Mikey and Chet to the family. If you're confused by the naming, we are naming them with frat boy names because I think frat boy names are a unique brand of ridiculous. We went to Pierre to buy the rest of the deluxe speed grows needed and planted the rest of our starfruits. We then spent the rest of the day fishing in the river for a chub, donated it to finish out the field research bundle, and got ourselves a recycling machine. We also got a big wine harvest before we head to bed. Day 119. We move our empty kegs into our freshly built shed and pop in the necessary starfruit to start the money-making process all over. We got a new lizard, so welcome Lloyd. We also headed to Marnie to buy another pig that we named Bobby, and we also bought bought a rare seed from the traveling merchant lady. We planted the rare seed in our greenhouse and gave it a fertilizer. We bought and gifted Leah a salad because it's been a good while since we've done that. And we called it an early night and went to bed. Day 120 is even more spring rain. We started our day with the usual hardwood run. We planted the little bit of mixed seeds we have in the greenhouse for funsies, and we spent the rest of our day fishing before we called it and headed to bed. Day 121 is our first strawberry harvest that goes straight into the shipping bin. We also did our morning hardwood run, and on our way there we buy another rare seed and planted it in the greenhouse. We also finally have enough hardwood to upgrade our house, so we went to Robin to ask for just that. We also dug up and donated the green weird doll thing to Gunther and spent the rest of the day fishing in the river. We also made more kegs for even more wine production before going to bed for the day. Day 122, we went all out and bought over 100 grass starters from Pierre, and also the fisherman double bed from Willie, which is my favorite bed. A quick gravel path into our new shed in the ranch area and planted a whole lot of grass. We also got ourselves a new couch for the living room and a rug that didn't really match the vibe, but it's gonna stay for a while, so brace yourselves. We planted a quick acorn in the ranch area because trees look nice and we need more around the farm before calling it a night. Day 123 is more rain, and as a continuation of yesterday, we are planting lots of trees around the place. Bought a teensy bit more grass from Pierre to plant around the gravel path to Grandpa's shrine, and we spend the rest of the day fishing in the river before checking if we can actually nab the golden Louis statue without the secret note, which as it turned out we can. So we plop it down behind our wine shack as a little bit of an Easter egg and headed to bed. Day 124. Our house upgrade is done, and I swear this is a decorating series and we're gonna try and make the farm look real nice real soon, but for now, it's the flower dance. We bought the recipe for the tub of flowers and a bunch of leaf wall stickers, and for the second year in a row, we didn't bother to learn the choreography or even get the uniform. After that, we turn in the rabbit's foot into the enchanter's bundle and sleep after. Day 125 is another day of strawberry harvest. We put up our leaf decals in the living room and we checked up on the quarry after. We also asked Robin to build us a well and got a bit of a wine harvest going before heading off on a foraging run. I remembered around this time I was trying my hardest to get to foraging 10 for max quality truffles. We replenished the starfruit wine before turning in for the night. Day 126 is more day of spring rain. We got a batch of starfruit ready to harvest. We hatched a void egg and named it Benji. Welcome to our weird family. We took the time to buy a couple new pigs and named one Andy, and the other one was named Shame by default, which is too funny to not take. We also bought a battery pack from the traveling merchant lady and headed into the desert to replenish our supply of starfruit seeds. We went to Pierre to match the number of deluxe speed grows with the starfruit we have, and then planted them in our greenhouse. We then rounded the day by fishing before calling it a night. Day 127 is even more rain. The well is done, so we make a quick little stepping stone cobble path to it. Second batch of starfruit harvest is today. Honestly, looking at the footage of me buying the starfruit again today, I honestly should have bought all the starfruits necessary to replant yesterday. Looking at it now, this is a little silly. We then gave Clint our pickaxe to upgrade into gold pickaxe and donated a quartz to Gunther. We planted the starfruits and started to gather more hardwood from the secret forest because I was told I'd need them for a boat. We then headed off to bed. Day 128 is more rain before the dry heat of summer starts tomorrow. We moved the field and the sprinklers to this spot right by the ranch area to make it look nicer, hopefully. And we did a quick foraging run before collecting more hardwood from the secret woods. After that, we're bound to the mountain lake to fish for a bit before the day grows late and we end our spring. Day 129 is the first day of summer, and after clearing the farm of debris, preparing the field, and moving the bee houses, we went to Pierre to purchase our allotment of summer seeds. Blueberry and a little bit of peppers, wheat, and poppy to try making non-wild honey for the first time. We also picked up our pickaxe while in town and gave Gunther a bone. We then planted the seeds we bought and spent the rest of our day cleaning up the farm some more and installed a gravel path to our mountain road exit before going to sleep. Day 130 is the day we realized we kinda mucked up the placement of our field by a bit, something we'll have to live with for a while. We gave Clint our axe to upgrade into a golden one. We opened a new field plot in front of one of the cabins, more as a decoration and a way to fill the space that is still productive, and planted weeds and tomatoes that we bought from Pierre in it. We then installed a gravel pad to our wine shed before calling it a day. Day 131. We woke up to find Leah Amazon primed a chair. I love her and she's best girl, but that chair ain't sticking around. We headed to Marnie to buy more hay for the silo and the fodder bundle in the community center. I wanted to build a pond and fill it with something that'll change the watercolor, so I decided to farm some stones in the quarry and the mines. We then spent the rest of the night fishing in the ocean by Dwayne to hopefully get the seaweed we need for going to bed and leveling up mining to 8. Day 132. Our golden axe is ready. We also got a big wine harvest that we shipped and replaced immediately. We regained our axe and immediately set our eyes on fishing for the remaining seaweeds. It was early when we completed Objective 1, so we move on to Objective 2, which is the green algae in the mountain lake. We actually managed to barely complete both our objectives, and with a new pond on the horizon, we go back home and to bed. Day 133. We got our first harvest of wheat. We're still a little bit short, but we have more coming. We bought melons and radishes as replacement seeds, farmed up the rest of the stones we need for the pond, and went to ask Robin to build it. Before we get to do that, we triggered Maru's Too Hard event, which was very awkward because Demetrius kind of forgot that I was married. We then asked Robin to build our pond finally and planted our melons. We didn't forget to gather our allotted hardwood for the day, and we fenced in our ranch area 3, which, surrounded by grass, makes it look a lot nicer. We added more grass to the underside of our fencing too, and just generally around the area before calling it a night. Day 134. We got the wheat necessary for the community center fodder bundle, and we replanted them with the radishes we bought yesterday. We also got a little bit of a hot pepper harvest, which is always exciting. I do love me some capsaicin. We then head on over to the fodder bundle to turn in our wheat, chop up some hardwood stumps, and call it quits for the day. Day 135. We got a batch of starfruit for harvest today, and honestly, dare I say, it is unfortunate that we haven't gotten a single ancient seed to date. We then used one of our eggs to cook a fried egg before heading to the desert to replenish our starfruit seeds. Going back home, we headed to Robin to ask her to make us a cellar, drop in our fried egg in the chef's bundle, bought rice for maki roll from Pierre's, and mosey on over to the beach to fish for the rest of the maki roll ingredients. We went home, planted the starfruit seeds, and made some maki rolls. We offered the maki rolls to complete the chef's bundle, earning us 3 pink cakes, and then we went to bed. Day 136. The next batch of starfruit harvest came in. We went to the desert to buy more seeds, headed to Pierre once we're home to replace the poppy bed we accidentally picked up with some red cabbages, and we bought some more grass. Since it's Monday, we bought 50 more slimes from Krobus as well as the Stardrop. We went home and planted all of our seeds we bought and planted more grass in the ranch area. We round out the day trying to fish out a lava eel from the mines, which we actually got first try, before we then turn in for the night. Day 137. We actually got our first lava eel row immediately, which is surprising. Oh, and also today is our first summer rain, which is my 4th favorite kind of rain. We tried our hand on decorating a little bit, and this was the day I remembered that we can't move beds in other player houses, so we kind of gave up on the idea halfway through the day. And for now, we just chopped down some hardwood stumps. When we went home, our jelly is ready, opening up the preserves jar for the roe, and after that, we headed straight to bed. Day 138. We have our cellar ready, which I may or may not have forgotten about it throughout the day. We headed to Marnie to buy a wabbit, and we welcome Mario to the family. We spent a large chunk of time in the day to deforest cindersap, and when we got back, we got a big wine harvest ready, and instead of the cellar, it went to the shipping bin. Whoops. We then called it a day and dinged a level in foraging to 10, picking up botanist as the obvious profession of choice. Day 139, we start smelting more ores because we wanted more kegs. We popped down a few more and started our starfruit wine production cycle again, and then it's luau time where we make good on our promise to put the luck on potluck. We're putting in Luis's lucky shorts, that's what we're doing. And with the town successfully pranked, we plonked down 5 more kegs and filled them with starfruit before going to bed for the night. Day 140 is our harvest of radish and a little bit of hot pepper. We headed to Pierre to replace the radishes with tomatoes, and through our overnight smelting, we managed to craft and plop down 7 more kegs, which we immediately fill up with starfruits. And then we head to bed. Day 141 is our second day of summer rain, and we got a harvest of tomatoes. The singular lava eel wanted a fire quartz from us, which we complied. We went into the mines to try our hands at getting the dwarf scrolls and some ore, because if we can't get the scrolls we need to buy the bombs, we'll need ore to craft them. We also took the time to buy the galaxy hammer from the Adventurers Guild because big hammer go big bonk. It is apparently argued as the best weapon in the game, and after using it a bit, I can see why. We also cleared up the quarry a little bit when our HP becomes too dire in the mines, and then we went to bed. Day 142. Today is our first blueberry harvest, and our orange trees bear their first fruits as well. We throw our second lava eel in our pond now that it has more population slot, and we finally did our first decorating. We're starting small with the mushroom cave. We lay in some paths, give it a lantern, and the tree column. I will eventually populate it with some grass, but even just this already looks so much nicer. Day 143 is when we do our co-op shenanigans. If the footage is weirdly zoomed in, I do apologize. I am trying to make playing 2 character a bit more readable. The big thing for today is that we upgraded the first of 3 guest cabins. I also bought a lot of grass starter from Pierre for the mushroom cave. We also got a little bit of pepper harvest, and on our way to deliver a starfruit can't ask for, we triggered Sam's 2 hard event. And after a hectic run around, we go to sleep. Day 144. I just parked the second player in front of the cabin until the upgrade came through. Once we got Guest Justitia parked, Prime Justitia went around Cindersap chopping down trees that we missed previously, and we cleared out the trees on the mountain as well. And after all that, we went to bed. Day 145. We got a tomato, red cabbage, and melon harvest. We also did the unspeakable today. We bought seeds from Joja Mart. But it's okay, we used Guest Justitia, so at least I have plausible deniability. We then planted the radish seeds that were bought and also put more grass and fencing around decorative trees in the ranch area. At this point, I decided to call it a night because my noggin started to hurt playing 2 players. Day 146, we got a huge harvest of starfruit and a harvest of blueberries and hot peppers. We then went to Standy in the desert to ask for more starfruit seeds. We take our 1 sweet gem berry and we give it to the secret forest statue in exchange for a star drop. We even got a prismatic shark busting open a hardwood stump. Neat! After all that, we go straight to bed because the sooner I end this 1-player co-op madness, the faster I can end my headache. Day 147, 1 cabin upgrade down, 2 to go. We also did a little bed rearranging before putting Guest Justitia to rest. We got a big wine harvest that we replenished immediately, and this time around we used the basement cask on all of them. Good on past me for that. We then not forget to cut down some hardwood stumps today as well before going to to bed. Day 148 is another day of summer rain. We also spend the morning going to Marnie and buy a whole bunch of hay because we ran out. We also spend the day farming stones and ores in the mines because we need them for bombs to succeed in the skull caverns. And that about wraps up what we did today. Day 149. We got more hot peppers to harvest and a little bit of tomato. We visited the traveling merchant lady and bought an iridium bar before heading to the secret woods for some hardwood. We used the bar to make a sprinkler and popped it in the greenhouse. We then headed into the sea to try and fish for the legendary crimson fish, which we actually got first try. Very exciting! I have never fished a legendary fish before. I don't know if I'll catch all of them, but I'll try to get some more in the future. We spend the rest of the day fishing some more before heading home, throwing the crimson fish in an aquarium, and move the date forward. Day 150 is the day we take care of our second cabin. Before Robin is open, we collect our harvest of blueberries. We then used Guest Justitia to ask for the upgrade and then proceeded to park them in front of their cabin. We then used Prime Justitia to buy our 50 slimes from Krobus, chopping down some more wood in the Cindersap forest, and we plopped down a new oil maker before calling it. Day 151. We got a harvest of tomato and the lava eels are asking for basalt. We bought corn seeds and a peach sapling from Pierre and planted the tree next to the upgrading cabin, and planted the corn seeds on top of our radish harvest for the day. We then spend the rest of the day in Cindersap yet again, chopping down more trees before catching some Z's. Day 152 is a good day for more hot peppers. We also decided that today is a good day for Geode Gacha, which we didn't really get much. We donated what we can, which included a dwarf gadget. Noting this as a little bit of foreshadowing for later, and then we went home and tossed a basalt to our eels. And then we round out the day by chopping down some hardwood stumps before going to sleep. Day 153 is the completed date for cabin 2 upgrade. So we move on immediately to the third and last cabin, experiencing what is essentially the Stardew equivalent of an out-of-body experience. We again ask Robin to upgrade the cabin. After parking our clone in front of their cabin, we harvested a little bit of tomatoes. We went over to the secret woods to crack open some stumps and got a big pop of wine harvest for the day, shipped it, replaced it before going to bed. Day 154 is more summer rain, which is always nice. We got a blueberry harvest before we spend the day cleaning up the quarry from both rocks and errant trees for a bit. We went to the traveling merchant lady, buying a singular cherry bomb because every little bit helps, and the wedding ring recipe before fishing the rest of the night. Day 155. We got a harvest of starfruit, tomatoes, and hot peppers. We visited Sandy and bought the starfruit seeds using Prime Justitia, and at the same time used Guest Justitia to go to Pierre to buy speed grows. Truly, I am the best gamer of our time. Don't quote me, don't at me, at Justitia Life on Twitter. We then went ahead and chopped some hardwood before retiring for the day. Day 156. We got our completed cabin so we can cease our dissociating and return to our original form. We harvested the poppy bed because today is the last day of summer, and we spend the rest of our day fishing away in the mountain lake, which is honestly my favorite place to fish. Please don't tell the river or the ocean. We then not forget to collect our allotted daily hardwood for making it to the dance of the moonlight jellies to close out our summer. Day 157. We concepted a quick and dirty outdoor communal eating area for the guests before diving into chores and cleaning the farm. Fall is here and we need to prep our fields for fall crops. We headed to Pierre's and bought cranberries, eggplants, and grapes. We then head home, planted those, and continued our cleanup of the farm. We finalized the arrangement of the outdoor dining area, and we spend the rest of the night claiming our rightful hardwood before going to sleep. Day 158 is our first autumn rain, which is my #1 favorite kind of rain. We got our apple and pomegranate, which we remember to save. We used our spare time in the morning to take stock and make bombs using raw ores and materials we collected before heading into the secret woods for our hardwood ritual. We purchased a bowler hat on a whim from the Hat Mouse before continuing to chop down trees in Cindersap. With our available battery packs and a lot of wood, we tried our best to light up our dark farm with wooden lampposts before heading bed. Day 159. After our chores, we took the apples and the pomegranates and donated them to the community center bundles to complete the community center proper finally. We said a temporary goodbye to the Junimos and continue our journey around the map, cutting down every tree available. I've never built Penny a house, so I wanted to know what that looked like. We also not missed our daily hardwood run before calling it a night. Day 160. We got a huge batch of wine ready to ship and triggered the community center completion event where we see idiot number 1 undeservedly stole the spotlight from us and run idiot number 2 out of town. At least we have our trophy. After that, we went to Robin, triggered a friendship event with her, and bought the difference in wood necessary to start building Penny a house. We headed home, reloaded our money-making barrels, and headed to the secret woods to chop our daily allotted hardwood, as well as the rest of the trees in Cindersap because these sheds ain't upgrading themselves. Day 161, we got a lot of mail because of the community center friendship, I'm assuming. We also start our nightmare scenario of having a truffle stuck on a tile and unable to be accessed. At this point, I didn't even know if it'll ever disappear or if it was going to taunt me until the day I put down the safe. All I can do is take deep meditative breaths and move on. We honestly didn't do much today. We claimed our daily login bonus of hardwood before going to sleep. Day 162, we blocked off access to that one corner of the ranch before further mishap happened and harvested the eggplants that were ready. We then headed into the secret forest for more hardwood and quickly triggered Willie's ship cutscene. We're gonna need 5 iridium bars, but luckily we are preparing to head into the skull caverns, hopefully sometimes in the next week. We did do a quick foraging run after that and then called it quits for the day. Day 163. For further skull cavern preparations, we headed for the desert trader to trade our jade that we've been stockpiling since so long ago for some staircases. After that, we triggered the house completion event in town. I did ask to remain anonymous because if we think about it, we have never paid taxes and therefore is probably on a list somewhere as a known tax evader. The less trail leading to me, the better. We checked out the interior, it's cute, and it's honestly a good motivator to actually start decorating our own place, which I promise is coming in this video. We went to Pierre to buy a bunch of saplings to basically make like a small orchard to display my trophy in the middle of, right by Grandpa's shrine. We then go to bed after that. Day 164. Jody came over and asked us for a largemouth bass and to join her family for dinner. We also got our harvest of starfruit and cranberries. We then headed to the desert to replenish our starfruit reserves. Heading home, and we used the rest of the day to fish in the mountain lake for the largemouth bass and joined Jody and her family for dinner. After that, we headed to bed for the night. Day 165. We got a harvest of corn. We went to Pierre to buy more grass starters for the ranch area, and we spent the rest of the day fishing all over the map for fishes to put in our Grange display come the Stardew Valley Fair, calling it a night after we got our selection. Day 166 is the day we embark on our Skull Cavern incursion. This is my first honest attempt to do this. The play wasn't perfect and I honestly could have done better, but we did get pretty far down. We got a decent chunk of iridium, omnigeodes, and even a prismatic shard. We called it a night after it got to 12 AM and made it to bed with a level up in mining to 9. Day 167. We started smelting the iridium ores we got, totaling it to 10 bars worth of ores. The lava eels asked for a mega bomb, which we promptly complied. We had a quick eggplant harvest and a big batch of wine ready. Other than that, it was a lot of sorting through what we got yesterday and chores as usual before calling it a day and seeing the old Joja Mart door get struck by lightning. Day 168. We headed to Clint in the rain for some geode gacha and a pickaxe upgrade. Notable results are a prismatic shard, and enough iridium ore for one more bar. As we donate what we can to Gunther, we were tempted to donate the shard, but ultimately decided against it. We also headed to Robin to ask for the shortcut around the valley upgrade, which should make traversal more painless. And somebody in Twitch chat told us that it's Friday and you can buy iridium sprinklers from Krobus. We planted the new sprinkler in the greenhouse and prepped the field for planting and called it a day. Day 169. Nice. Is a big harvest of cranberries and corn. We did notice that we forgot to reload the wine barrels, so we did that before heading to Marnie's to restock on animal feed. We also used this opportunity to go on a quick run to check the missing bundle. Thankfully, we only needed 5 of the items listed because ancient fruit is not something we have access to at the moment. We collected what we can from our storage, donated the prismatic shard and the silver quality wine. We triggered the wizard's quest to gain access to the void salmon area via the quest chain, nabbed the talisman, moved the mutated bird out of the way, and found our way barred by a goblin. Full disclosure, this is the first time I'm doing this quest, so you're gonna see me figure out some things. Day 170. We made a memo to check the library because I believe the quest talked about getting information about goblins. We did a quick harvest of grapes and stopped by Clint to pick up our iridium pickaxe. We found the corresponding book by Am Jasper in the library, and we headed home to pick up a void mayo to give it to the goblin. We got the magic ink thing, gave it back to the wizard, and gained access to his magic book platform thingamajig. Unfortunately, we can't go back the way we came from because we're not high enough friendship with the wizard, so we used this opportunity to go back to town, donated the dino mayo to the missing bundle, and called it a night. Day 171. The first thing we do after finishing up our chores is trying to catch the void salmon, which we thankfully catch in a reasonable time frame. We donated it immediately to the missing bundle, and then we tried to get our hands on 5 seaweeds for our second pond, which we need to keep sturgeons for the caviar part of the missing bundle. And that pretty much concludes what we did today. Day 172. We made an effort to decorate a little bit, and I did eventually fall in love with the floor dividers. Otherwise, we just did our chores until it's time for the Stardew Valley fair, which I was experiencing a dilemma for. I want to display Lewis's short, but my desire to crush Pierre and the one day a year he can experience some semblance of happiness and satisfaction in his otherwise failing life and marriage took hold, and I did the grains display seriously. After that, we bought a ring, called it a night. Pierre's disappointed look will now serve as motivation and a reminder of a job well done for the rest of the year. Day 173. We got a harvest of grape, corn, and starfruit today, and we headed to the desert straight after to buy replacement. We also fished up the pyramid decal while we were there. We did need more speed growth, so a quick visit to Pierre and we headed home to plant our new batch of starfruits. After that, we did spend the rest of the day gathering seaweeds we needed for the pond before calling it. Day 174 is a day for another cranberry harvest. We also went to Robin today to ask for the pond. This puts fishing for sturgeons in our winter agenda. We then used the rest of the day to gather more wood from the cindersap forest before turning in for the night. Day 175 is just a boring day where we did our chores. We got a big pop of wine that we shipped and replaced on the same day, but otherwise that was it. Day 176, we got a quick harvest of grapes. We spent a little bit of time chopping down trees, and we also did a foraging run on the beach before calling it a night. Day 177 is another day of corn and eggplant harvest. We bought a whole lot of grass starter from Pierre and a whole lot of coal from Clint, and after going home, we cleared the area next to the lava eel pond and popped down 4 new preserves jar and replanted the grass in the ranch area before going to bed. Day 178. We spend our morning doing a little bit of rearranging before going out and doing chores. After chores are done, we actually decorate our bedroom a bit, making a little bit of a reading corner next to the bed, and we then shifted our focus outside and lay our outside dining area on top of some brick flooring and retire for the day. Day 179. We start our day with more decorating, rearranging stuff, placing windows. It's raining outside, so we can allot more time for it. We did get a large harvest of cranberries and grapes, and we decided to partition the bedroom to 2 sections with large fish tanks and a little bit of houseplants. The aquarium are looking a little bit barren, so we went outside in the hunt for seaweed and corals. This is again my first time interacting with the aquarium system, so you might notice my lack of forethought because I've been selling corals by the busload so far. We also installed more lights as it is hard to work in the darkness before heading to bed. Day 180 is the day I noticed the tile work in the deluxe barn is not perfect. We spent a little bit of time fishing for things to fill the aquarium with, and we also added wall accents to the bedroom wall and added the floor divider to the kitchen and upstairs before heading to bed. Day 181. We are a little bit desperate for battery packs at this point, because I think we were trying our best to finish the boat within the year, maybe even before winter. We planted a few lightning rods down and went to doing business as usual. We also went to Robin trying to paint the house and realized that somehow we can't paint things white. I was devastated and settled for a color scheme that, while it wasn't my first choice, I eventually grew into. We also donated a bone item to Gunther and got the second part of the 3-part sloth skeleton, and we spent the rest of the day fishing up freshwater fishes that I think would look neat in an aquarium together. We went home, dumped the fishes in the aquarium, and headed to bed. Day 182, we got a harvest of corn and grapes, and the lava eel were asking for an iridium bar. While we think on whether to comply or not, we harvested our wine in the shed and the ones in the cellar. We headed to Gunther to donate a disc we fished up yesterday, went home and tossed an iridium bar into the lava eel pond. We also checked up on the greenhouse and found out that today is harvest, but because it's late, replanting would have to wait until tomorrow. And after that, we call it a night. Day 183. We got 7 battery packs from hastily placed lightning rods, which means we have everything we need to fix the boat. While we were at it, we give Pam an extra battery pack we have before heading to the desert to buy starfruit seeds. Not actually knowing at this point whether the boat repair will need a cutscene or just take up the rest of the day, we held off on turning in the rest of the material until tomorrow. For the rest of the day, we prepared a field that'll honestly be used next year at the earliest, right between the wine shed and one of the cabins, before heading to the Spirit Festival. We talked with everyone and run the maze for the golden pumpkin, and the plan with the golden pumpkin is to give it to the first person I see tomorrow. And with that, we turn in for the day. Day 184, we got our last cranberry harvest, and we also plucked our fairy flower bed. We give our golden pumpkin to Haley on the way to the beach to do some light foraging and give Willie the materials to finish fixing his boat. We've realized that we've never given Leah a truffle before, so we gave her a truffle. And we spend the rest of the day fishing in the river before calling it a night, ending our fall as we watch Robin and Willie hard at work fixing the ship. Day 185 is our first day breathing in that cold, crisp winter air. Willie sent us a mail to tell us that the boat is ready, and this will be my first time setting foot on what I assume people call Ginger Island. It was confusing, we gave a bird some nut, and we seemed to be trying to befriend the parrot boy. We also followed a will-o-wisp into an active volcano before we realized that it is impossible to do without food, and then we dipped. The day was already pretty late when we got back to the valley, so we spent a little time trying to catch a sturgeon in the mountain lake. Unsuccessful at this time, we headed home and went to bed. Day 186, we found a large pulsating capsule outside of our greenhouse. Not really knowing what it was for or what to do with it, we moved it a couple steps and headed to Willie to buy some bait. We swung by Gunther to donate what artifact we fished up yesterday before going to the mountain lake, determined to catch a sturgeon today, which we actually did rather quickly. We threw it in the pond by the ranch and did some rearranging to the field, and while the layout wasn't final, it is a good starting point. Day 187, we start the day decorating our kitchen by changing the wallpaper and adding a small dining area. As well as some houseplants, we also rearranged the living area after doing our chores by adding lights, houseplants, and a sofa chair to complete the look. And with chores and decorating done for now, we decided that it's a good time to call it a night. Day 188, we headed into the mines to collect some fiber for a loom. We made one and plopped it down in Leah's area, put some wool in it and watched it spin before a train was moving through Stardew Valley and tossed out a bunch of frozen geode. We then remembered that secret statues were a thing, and we tossed a duck mayo into a box in the back of the saloon to get Pinky Lemon. Granted, this isn't the one I really wanted, but don't have access to Strange Bun and Super Cucumbers were out of season. After that, with nothing left to do, we went home and straight to bed. Day 189. We forgot to ship our stuff yesterday, so we gave Leah a goat cheese. Also, Emily visited us in the morning to let us know that we can use her sewing machine. Our wine is ready, so we collected those before we found out we ran out of animal feed, so we went to Marnie to grab some hay to fill the feeding trough and the silo. Coming home, we shipped the wine and refilled the cask with a new batch. We gave each cabin a private dining table because I personally dislike it when accommodations force you to socialize in a communal space when you kinda just wanna stay in the room and eat cup ramen for the night. Yes, this is speaking from experience. And also we added a TV and a couch for the living space. We decorated the 3 cabins pretty much identically minus the colors that we used. We chose the 3 primary colors, red, green, and blue, as theming for the rooms because it is simple, it is cute, and most importantly, it has adequate support from the furniture selection in vanilla Stardew Valley. Day 190. We decorate some more by placing some houseplants and lights in our living area. The sturgeon asked us for a diamond, which we won't be able to fulfill anytime soon. We continued decorating the cabins with new windows, some paintings, more houseplants, as well as new wallpaper and flooring. We also used the lovely floor divider to separate the kitchen and the living, and it makes it so much easier on the eyes in my opinion. And after this, we went to bed, excited for more decorating tomorrow. Day 191, we got our caviar today, so this is very exciting. The movie theater is something I've also never interacted with, so we went immediately and turned in the caviar to complete the missing bundle, sending our last Junimo friendo home. After that, we turned our mind into more decorating, getting rugs and fireplaces for the cabins, because I want the smoking chimney look from the outside. We then turned in for the day and watched the Junimo turn the old Jojo Mart building into a movie theater. Day 192 is a day for Starfruit Harvest and the Festival of Ice, where we again iced Willy in the fishing competition, and that's kinda all we did today. Day 193, we picked up the aquatic overpopulation quest from the special board. This marks a new interest I had in getting the farm computer, because it is the only computer available as furniture that doesn't involve spawning. And we needed a PC to run the BNB. We spent the rest of the day fishing for perch in the mountain lake, nabbing a surprising amount before heading back home, finalizing the wallpaper in the cabins before turning in for the day. Day 194 is another day of solo co-op, but this one is quick because we only wanted to move the beds around. We then spent the day doing Geode Gacha, hoping for a dwarf gadget, but alas, no cigar. We donated the only thing we can before heading into the mountain lake to again fish for more perch. We actually finished the special request in a pretty timely manner. We then went home and headed straight to bed. Day 195, we did a little decoration for the red cabin. We also invited Sandy to the movies because I asked my Twitch chat who loved this movie and someone frame one answered Sandy. We then enjoyed our first movie experience. It's pretty neat, but I was pretty sad I couldn't try the crane game. And for the rest of the day, we embarked on a fool's errand to try and get the dwarf gadget by tilling floors in the mines. Instead of the gadget, we did finally get the red dwarf scroll, so now we only need the yellow one, silver lining. We headed home after, and while sleeping, we leveled up combat to 7. Day 193, we got a big batch of wine ready to ship, replenish everything, and headed to Gunther to donate the dwarf scroll. Today too, we till we drop. We did get the secret note for the bear event, which we'll do tomorrow because we do have access of the good stuff. After our energy ran thin, we went home and called it a night. Day 197. After our chores, we headed to the secret woods with maple syrup in tow to trigger the bear event, giving us bonus on berry prices. We cracked open Omni Geodes and got a couple new things, but no dwarf gadgets. We did donate the new minerals we got before diving back into tilling the mines. All of this is a bit silly in hindsight after looking through the footage. However, I'm just reporting what happened. We did thankfully get our yellow dwarf scroll from it, so again, silver lining. Day 198. We donated the last dwarf scroll and said hi to the dwarf. I went to the saloon, triggered the Gus friendship event, told Pam to pay up and headed back to the mines after for some more tilling. We headed home once the energy hits red and took straight to bed. Day 199. Our lava eel hooked us up with some magma geodes, so we went to crack those, hoping for a lucky roll on the dwarf gadget. Sadly again, no cigar. Though we did get iridium ores and some extra basalt we can actually donate to the museum this time. To day 2, we headed into the mines to till, at least until the night market starts, where we bought the painting and went on a submarine adventure hoping to catch us a super cucumber for one of the secret statues. While we did catch the spookfish, we did come up empty on the cucumber, and then we headed home for the day. Day 200, baby! Today is more of the same. We threw the spookfish inside a modern aquarium that we placed upstairs. We bought a bunch of bait and a trap bobber from Willy in preparation for tonight, and then we tilled in the mine again until the night market started. We bought the painting and again went on a submarine adventure. While we caught the midnight squid and a couple of blobfishes, we did fail to fish up the super cucumber once again. After going home and sleeping, we call an end to our 200 days of Stardew BNB. But we are not done. Again, here is the rest of winter supercut. We put the blobfish alongside the midnight squid and spookfish, and we decorated the aquarium room. We bought the third painting from the last day of the night market and failed to catch the super cucumber. We also didn't roll the strange bun from Gus's daily specials and Krobus's Saturday shop the whole winter, so the secret statues will be a next year thing. Another next year thing is the farm computer, which we failed to get another dwarf gadget for. Our random villager that we need to give gifts for this year is Gus, which we bought his favorite fish taco from Krobus in the sewers. Hope he doesn't mind the smell or ask questions. We did another incursion into the skull caverns. We got iridium, but the whole thing was pretty mid, mostly because we did it on a whim and it wasn't planned. We decorated the greenhouse to feature a dining area in the middle of our starfruits, which combined with the pillar torches and grasses look pretty cute. And it's probably a carbon monoxide hazard. We painted the coop and the barn the same colors we painted our house for a more uniform look. We chose the red roof look, which is probably my personal favorite. We also rearranged and decorated our ranch shed, adding a cozy getaway corner. We got Elliot as our secret Santa, and well, here's my reaction. Elliot? Ugh! Out of everyone? Good God, no. You know what? Fuck you, Elliot. And we end the year by fishing, and we have successfully sent Grandpa to the afterlife. Nice. Let's review our goals for the year. We did this for year 1 with the big presentation. We did this for year 2 with a smaller presentation. We are going to do this for year 3 with an even smaller presentation. The goal is simple. We make the farm computer. We still need the dwarf gadget for that, and that's it. We need to complete Ginger Island. So, all I know is that there is like a big quest line. You need to go around talking to a bunch of different people. And you need to gather walnuts. That's it. So we're gonna take that as it comes with the help of an online guide. And of course, obviously this is a decorating series. We need to decorate the island. And also, we're gonna finish what we started last year. We caught the crimson fish. We need the other 3, 4? I think 3, 1 per season, right? The other 3 fishes, the legendary fishes. yeah, that's it, really. Let's roll. Day 201 is the first day of the new year, and all begins with me clearing the farm from debris and detritus to make way for the new spring crops, as well as the usual animal-related chores. We went to buy seeds from Pierre and 50 slabs from Krobus to make another oil maker. I then returned to the farm to till the land and plant my newly bought seeds, as well as the strawberry seeds we had stored from last year. We went on a late night hardwood collecting run for the oil maker, and that was the extent of our day. Day 202 is a good day for rain. We're still cleaning up the farm on top of our chores, and during the routine we found another artifact that we can donate to the museum. We used today's abundance of free time due to the rain to head over to Ginger Island and begin collecting the golden walnuts. I am using a guide so I could start decorating the farm faster. This is a decorating series after all. Our escapades in the north of the island netted us 13 walnuts. We paid 10 for the parrot to bully the giant turtle out of the way, giving us access to the west of the island. We got another 2 walnuts before talking to the stranded lady fishing away on the coast, starting the War Memento questline. We got 6 more walnuts for a total of 11 before calling it a night and sailed back to Stardew Valley. And after that we head to bed, saying yes to having our first baby. Day 203, we finally crafted our final oil maker and stored the War Memento for now. We also dumped 2 maple syrups that we had for our sturgeon pond quest, and after our usual daily chores we went to visit Marnie to stop on some hay. We also used this opportunity to buy some more grass starters from Pierre, and after shopping is done we go to Willie to begin day 2 of our golden walnut collecting adventure. We got 11 more extra walnuts for a total of 22, and spent 20 of them for the parrot's help in fixing the island farmhouse. Due to how late it's getting, I decided to sleep in said farmhouse instead of returning back to the valley. Day 204 begins by us going back home. It's raining back in the valley, so we have another chore light day. Unfortunately, one of our parsnips fell victim to a crow, so I decided to do a little cheeky hide a secret scarecrow behind the wine shed, next to the golden statue of Lewis to keep watch. We refilled the feeding trough and silo with hay we bought yesterday, and then we headed to town to give Kent a quick birthday present and crack open some geodes. Sadly, we got nothing to donate to the museum, so we head back home and begin replanting the decorative grass we lost during winter, and that was basically everything we did today. Day 205, we have our parsnips ready to harvest on top of our usual list of chores. We headed to the secret woods for some more hardwood and to Pierre for some more seeds. We also decided to invite Caroline to the movies with us. While there, we played the crane game and yoinked some of the big decors instead of the prizes proper, and bought the correct snacks to maximize friendship gains and enjoyed a movie about a brave little sapling. We then went home, plunked the deluxe tree that we got behind our couch to act as a bit of a divider, and planted the seeds we bought, and then we call it a day. Day 206 starts with the usual chores, after which I went around to the saloon as well as Krobus to look for food. While I'm hazy on the reasoning, I believe it had something to do with gaining fishing levels. I also went to Emily and Haley's house and triggered Emily's heart event. We then do what we really came here to do, and that is to sew some boots together. We didn't really do much else today but forage and fish before calling it a night. Day 207 is wine day. We collected our big wine batch, shipped it, and begin the process anew. Other than that though, it's chores as usual. We then head to the desert to preemptively buy our next batch of starfruit seeds. And honestly, other than these things that we did, not a lot else happened today. Day 208 starts with business as usual. After chores, we went to Pierre's and triggered one of Abby's heart cutscenes before buying some seeds. We then head to the mines to farm some magma geodes in the hopes of scoring another dwarven computer artifact thing, which I believe is a 1 in 26 drop chance from every magma geode cracked. We dipped after our health and energy got low, planted the seeds we bought, and called it a day. Day 209, we got a starfruit and strawberry harvest today on top of our usual chores. We choose today to go geode cracking at Clint's and found no dwarven gadget. But we did decide that our prismatic shard is better donated instead of sitting pretty in a chest, and we then went back to the mines for more magma geodes until our energy got low and we call it quits for today. Day 210 starts similarly to yesterday. We did our chores and went to Clint to crack some more magma geodes and finally got our dwarven gadget. We headed home, started preparing the materials for the farm computer, because how can I run a BNB if I don't have a computer? After waiting for everything to cook, we crafted the computer and made a little nook to do computer business in. Day 211 is a rainy day, which means it is time to challenge the legend. I mosey my hiney up to the mountain and begin casting away from the island in the middle of the lake. After catching carps after chubs after largemouth bases, I was finally face to face with the legend, in which I failed to reel him in a very spectacular fashion. Determined that I was simply caught unaware during our first encounter, I kept fishing, in which the second encounter offered me a real dose of reality. I would definitely need more than what I have now to fish up the legend. I headed home after that to rest and plan. Day 212 starts with our chores, but then becomes a day of preparation in our season-long battle against the legend. I went to Willie's to stock up on a lot of bait and trap bobbers. We then went ahead and chartered a boat to Ginger Island, where we triggered Leo's first cutscene. We didn't actually do that much on the island, seeing I didn't bring any healing to tackle the volcano. I did get one walnut from killing a slime in the volcano entrance level, but we decided to use the opportunity to begin clearing the field just a tad before going back to the valley and going to bed. Day 213 is another strawberry harvest on top of normal chores. It is also the day of the egg festival, wherein after I finished farm work, I strolled into town, crushed people's dreams in the egg hunting contest, take the prize and go home. We also got a batch of wine complete, so we shipped that and called it done for the day. Day 214 is a normal chores day. After everything in the farm, I begin to tackle the War Memento questline and dropped by Pierre in between destinations to buy some seeds. The quest took us all over from Kent to Gus to even Sandy and then back to the valley to meet George. We also spent a good bit preparing some quality sprinklers to use in Ginger Island, and after George, we bring the Arctic Shard to the Wizard, and then the Worm to Willy. We got the Pirate Locket, and we'll finish it tomorrow, but for today, we've done all we can, and we head to bed. Day 215, we headed to Ginger Island straight after doing chores. We also bought some trout soup to aid us in the legend fight, and we started clearing the island farm proper and planted a bunch of strawberries as well as a singular garlic for the quest. We give the pirate locket to the stranded lady, whose name is Birdie, and completed the quest. We finished the day by clearing the farm some more, before heading back to the valley and going to bed. Day 216 is a rainy day, which means straight after farm work we are headed to battle with the legend. I eat the trout soup and begin fishing, and not after long, we encountered our first chance of the day, and we got him. It's barely even 12 p.m. At this point I was lost and confused as to what to do now, and I decided to try my hand on the mutant carp from the sewers, and we caught him on the first encounter as well. With the agenda for the day completed early and somewhat anticlimactically, I head home, show off my prized catch in the aquariums, and we went to Pierre, bought grass starters, and just started planting them all over the animal area before calling it quits for the day. During the night, Leah gave birth to our lovely baby daughter, which we named Lily. Day 217 is another good day for strawberry harvest. Today too, we mosey on over to Ginger Island and decide to use the excess trout soup as healing in the volcano. But unfortunately, due to some skill issue, we backed ourselves into a corner and promptly died. Nothing of value was lost, but we did need to spend the rest of the day clearing Ginger Island with very low energy and health. With every inch of the farm clear of debris, we return to Stardew Valley proper, pick up our cauliflower harvest, and head to bed. Day 218, we got a batch of starfruit harvest today on top of the usual farm work. We once again headed to the volcano, undeterred by the previous day's failed attempt. Despite this attempt going well, I did realize doing this without bombs is gonna be tricky and time consuming. But luckily there was a dwarf on the 5th floor that we can stock up cherry bombs from. I decided to carry onwards anyway, despite how late it already is, and my rash decision is rewarded because I reached the top at 1:30 in the morning. I collected my 2 walnuts and the prismatic shard before exiting and fainting, but we did get a combat level up. Day 219. We woke up to some rain in the Ginger Island. First thing is to head straight home and tend to the farm. Today is the day that I found out that I forgot to replant the starfruits. Whoops. We headed to the desert immediately to remedy this error, bought way too much starfruit seeds, headed home and planted them straight away. We also headed back to Ginger Island for the day to try and gather up some walnuts before calling it a night on the island. Day 220 begins with us on the Ginger Island itself, so I thought I might as well try to fish. I didn't manage to get any fishing walnuts, so I decided to head back home and do some chores. Today is also the day we head to Marnie to restock on hay, but we also triggered Shane's heart event. After that we got the hay and we finally caved in and bought 2 auto grabbers. I've been shying away from them, but at this point it's probably fine. Back in the farm we got another batch of wine ready to go and shipped it right away before we called it a day and head to bed. Day 221, the auto grabber has already proven its convenience and now I cannot live without it. Today too is another Ginger Island day, like most days, where we take a look at the enhancement machine thing at the top of the mountain. I don't really get it, and we can't enter the higher levels of the volcano from the top, so back to the bottom we go. We cleared some debris and enemies to get a couple golden walnuts and another from journal scrap, making it around 20 that we can spend to rebuild the resort. We head home after that and called it a day. Day 222 is another beautiful sunny day. After we were done with chores, we packed up both our catalogs and headed to Ginger Island yet again. This is the first time we encountered people actually going to the resort, and I think that's pretty neat. We plunked down our catalogs and began decorating away. The vibe I'm going for here is a vacation bungalow sort of deal. My biggest gripe about this series is that there's so little in the way of activities from the furniture, and every other room just ends up being a sitting room. Give me a foosball table or something. Anyways, after an initial pass, I headed home for the day and went to bed. Day 223, we finally gave our sturgeon some Omni Geodes to munch on. Once again, we chart a course for Ginger Island, this time going to the eastern coast and grabbing the available golden walnuts. A convenient bubble spot prompted us to go fish, and we managed to fish out one of the golden walnuts that we can get from fishing. After the bubble fiesta is over, we went on a hunt for a golden coconut, and after finding one, we head home and called it a night. Day 224 is another fine day to do some farm work. Today is also the flower dance, so after chores, we head on over. And for the third year in a row, we dance without knowing the moves, nor in the proper attire. After a flower dance, we head on home and off to bed we go. Day 225 is a rainy day and is a geode cracking day. After doing the various chores around the farm, including a strawberry harvest, we head to Clint to open geodes and, more importantly, the first golden coconut. That guarantees us a golden walnut, and after all that we head over to Ginger Island, where we also have a strawberry harvest ready. We then mow the grass around Leo's hut, pre-farming for the mummified frog. We do a little decorating on the house before we decided to go fishing. All in all, this was a day where we do a lot with little to show for it. Day 226. Since we slept in the island farmhouse, the first thing we do is board the boat and head back to the valley. We stop by Clint's to crack some Omni Geodes before heading back home to begin today's farm work. After that, we head to Pierre's and bought some more grass starter, and began adding more vegetation around the barren parts of our farm. After everything's been sufficiently vegetated, we head to bed. Day 227, we have another batch of wine done today, on top of other chores. Today we head on over to Ginger Island as well to fix the bridge leading to the dig site. We free Professor Snail and bombed around the dig site, as well as grabbing the newly available walnuts before going to his tent and cheat on his exam for some easy walnuts. Thank you, Internet Guide. After that, we fished on the dig site river for the spine and donated that as well. We then head home for the day and to bed we go. Day 228, we have a starfruit harvest today, but other than that, it's business as usual. We spent some time after chores to go crack open some geodes. With all our goals for the season completed, we kinda just wandered aimlessly after, even fishing in the secret forest pond before heading back home. We crafted some bombs and a rain totem to get ready for some Ginger Island shenanigans, and off to sleep we trot. Day 229 is the first day of summer. We do our usual first day of the season upkeep on top of the usual chores and prep our field for our first summer crops. After everything is proper and ready, we head to Pierre's to buy mostly blueberries, planted those, and some melons. After that, we head to the mines. I believe we are looking for quartz because we wanted more quality sprinklers for the Ginger Island farm. After the day grew quite late, we craft what quality sprinklers we can and head to bed. Day 230, our baby Lily is awake. We said hi before heading out to do farm work, and after we're done with chores, we headed to Pierre for some more seeds, this time for the Ginger Island farm. We chart the boat and pop a rain totem before clearing and prepping the farm. We plant the seeds we have and found a fossilized snake skull from digging. We donated it and the frog we had from a while back, and into the volcano we go. We're just gonna be firebombing everything because our aim this time around is to get the mummified bat on top of the golden walnuts. We got to the 5th floor, paid the parrots, and took the slide outside. We head back to Stardew Valley and called it a night. We even got level 10 mining and picked gemologist as our profession. Day 231, we spend our morning playing with Lily and shipping the batch of wine we aged in our basement on top of the usual farm stuff. We head to a rainy Ginger Island and found a ruby in the west. We slotted that in before heading to Professor Snail's tent to turn in the mummified bat. And after that, our Ginger Island visit is concluded for the day, so we head back via the boat. We finished preparation for another quest by crafting note blocks and call it a day. Day 232, on top of the usual chores, we crafted rain totems to force rain on the Fern Isles. After farm work is done, we head to Ginger Island as per usual, popping the rain totem immediately upon arrival. We then bombed the dig site in hopes of getting a fossil, but alas, no such luck there. We did dig up a vertebrae from an artifact spot and donated that before we headed back home and went to bed. Day 233 is another fine day to work in the farm. We dug up a prehistoric tibia yesterday, so we head to the museum after work to donate it. Today we also head to Ginger Island, this time with the intention to pan by the dig site. Before that, we do the mermaid puzzle and thank her for the nuts. We got an emerald from the bird on the east side of the island. And when we finally get to panning, the tail came to us mighty quick. We donated it, and with the walnuts we got, we opened up the island exchange tent. With nothing much to do after that, we head back to the valley, begin aging another batch of wine, and call it a night. Day 234 is a sunny summer day, perfect for some chores. After that is done, we head to Ginger Island yet again. Today we are equipped with a slingshot because I remembered a walnut that I did not get before. The northern bird gives us an amethyst, and we shot down the golden walnut stuck in a tree. We also got a strawberry harvest from the Ginger Island farm. We slotted the amethyst in its place before heading back to the valley and be done for the day. Day 235 is yet another day we head to Ginger Island after chores. But we are done forcing rain on Ginger Island. After landing, we immediately got an aquamarine from the bird on the beach, slotted in, and received our rightful reward from the jungle shrine. We got a tiny harvest of hot pepper from the island before we head back into the volcano. Today too, we bomb our way through in hopes of golden walnuts. We got one and a journal scrap that shows the location of another. As the day is growing late, we decide that it's time to head home and rest. Day 236 starts with good old farm work. We are heading to Ginger Island yet again. We forage and gathered coconut before heading back into the volcano. We try killing the lava monsters for some dragon fangs, but no such luck. Today is the day we tackle darts in the pirate cave. We got all the walnuts we can in 4 tries, which is pretty good. We then head back to the valley and called it a day. Day 237, we got a harvest of starfruits today. Other than that, it is business as usual in the farm. Since we got the cash, I decided to pull the trigger on buying the return scepter before heading to Ginger Island. We are still collecting coconuts because one of the fossil drop is from golden coconuts. We also enabled the Parrot Express, which is essentially fast travel around the island. And not used to the return scepter yet, I took the boat home. But I did scepter my way back to the farm. And after that I head to bed. Day 238 is a rainy summer day. After chores, we decided to go crack some geode and a golden coconut at Clint's to no particularly interesting result. We then take the boat to Ginger Island and found we have a harvest of strawberries and peppers waiting for us. We paid the walnuts to get a mailbox installed on the island farm and just loiter around the island with no particular goal in mind. And I decided then to call it early and head to bed. Day 239, we got batteries ready because of yesterday's storm. We also got a truffle to put into the hot pot for the luau, which is today. We mosey onto the beach after chores and dropped in our truffle, simply because I want the global friendship point this time around, instead of the usual hilarious purple boxers. We got the best soup, and after the luau is said and done, we went home and finished the day. Day 240, we got a bunch of mail from the friendship boost as well as another complete batch of wine. We headed to Ginger Island again today, but triggered Alex's hard event on the beach. We're still on the business of coconuts and golden coconuts here, as well as artifact spots on the south side of the islands, since those are the most RNG based ones. Once we concluded our business, we head back and start smelting ore so we can get more kegs crafted. We crafted and plonked down what new kegs we have, filled them with star fruits, and called it a night. Day 241 is another stormy day. We also got our melons done and ready to harvest. I headed to Clint and cracked open the 2 golden coconuts. They have yet to yield a fossil. And then we head to Ginger Island yet again after to trade for another one and plant our newly acquired mango sapling. After our business on the island is done, we sceptered home. Honestly, the scepter is super convenient to have, and I can't believe I have played Stardew Valley all this time without it. Day 242, we got our iridium bars done and even more batteries. Today is also the first day of our blueberry harvest, which the Junimos kindly helped with. We chartered a boat over to Ginger Island today as well, still on the fossil quest, needing us to look for coconuts and artifact spots. The melon we planted on the Ginger Island farm also grew, which means we can show the big toad feller the melon, the wheat, and the garlic we planted and have him reward us with golden walnuts. With this, we have enough to enter Cheese Walnut Room, and after the cutscene we check out what's available to us and decide that this is not the playthrough for this. Maybe in the future, After that we headed home, spied on Marnie and Lewis on the way back, and crashed onto the bed after such a busy day. Day 243, we got a mini shipping bin in the mail from Lewis that we plonked in front of our animal product processing shed. We begin to smelt more copper and iron bar for more kegs, and while we wait for that to complete, we head south to gather a ton of wood. I believe this was around the time I had an idea on what I want to do with the Ginger Island farm, but to do that we'd need a lot more iridium sprinklers. With that in mind, we made a note to go into the Skull Caverns sometime soon, and then we head to bed. Day 244, our baby Lily is crawling around the house. After farm work is done, we head to Ginger Island to plan and map out what we're doing on the farm. We plan out the sprinklers as well as the wooden path as borders. Now, unfortunately, I have some bad news. The rest of the footage for this stream, which is the rest of this week in Stardew Valley time, got corrupted during handling. So, I'm gonna tell you that what we essentially did for the rest of the week was we made preparations like getting food and stairs to take on the Skull Caverns once again. Now, on your screen is my rough concept of what I want to do with the Ginger Island farm. It's based from a rainbow. It's like having the red crops on the leftmost side and gradually following the rainbow pattern we end on the purple crops on the far right. Anyway, after the time skip, we return on day 250, where we got a harvest of blueberries on top of the normal chores we had to do. To show you a little bit about what we did during the last week where the footage was lost, here I'm showing you we crafted a good number of new wine kegs, as well as we got a lot of bombs, food, and stairs. And we head to the desert to tackle the Skull Caverns in hopes for more iridium. All in all, everything went pretty swimmingly, and we came out with a decent haul of iridium ores. The excursion lasts deep into the night, and we slept immediately after going home. Day 251, we begin enacting the Ginger Island Rainbow Farm plan by slowly smelting the iridium we need for the sprinklers. We also used the downtime from the smelting process to go crack open some geodes. Luckily, we got a new mineral we can donate to the museum. And after that, we go straight home, take the iridium bars, start smelting some gold, before heading to the woods to chop some trees. After today, we are 2 iridium sprinklers richer, and we head to bed. Day 252 is another chores as usual day. After all that is done, we load up on the things we want to plant on Ginger Island and head on over. We harvested all that's available and begin killing our old crops, and went to work layouting the farm. We planted the crops we can plant. We're still missing eggplants and grapes from next season, which is fall, and then we head back to the valley and call it a night. Day 253, we crafted some more kegs for wine production. We then head on down to the mines to gather copper ore, and upon finishing up our dive, we replaced the broken fences from our ranch area before calling it a night. Day 254 is a beautiful day of summer rain. We begin the day by crafting more kegs before doing chores. After farm work is complete, we head over to Ginger Island where a small harvest of strawberries are waiting for us. We dug up another snake vertebrae from the farm and happily complete the snake fossil, giving us another mango sapling to plant on the farm and some golden walnuts. We decide to spend the night on the island and let sleep take us. Day 255, we dug up some artifact troves and omni geodes from the island before heading back. It's raining in the valley and we head straight to Clint to crack open our findings, in which we found a golden mask and that goes directly to the museum. We return to the farm and immediately do our chores for the day, and at night we got another batch of wine ready to ship before we go to bed for the day. Day 256, we got a harvest of starfruits today on top of our usual farm work. We head to Clint to crack open a golden coconut and got ourselves a banana sapling. Sadly, we can't go to Ginger Island today because the beach is being used for the Dance of Moonlight Jellies tonight. So to kill time, and seeing as we still need a lot of wood for both kegs and wine casks, we spend a little time deforesting Cindersap. After that, we attend the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies and bid farewell to another bygone summer. Day 257 is the first day of fall. As with the first day of most seasons, we prep the field for new crops on top of doing our animal related chores. We then head to Pierre's to buy our seed for the season. It's a lot of cranberries among other things. We head on home and we move over to Ginger Island. We finally have our purple crops ready, planting both grapes and eggplants in the rightmost column of our farm. We also planted the banana sapling we got before heading back home and call it quits for the day. Day 258, we head to the mines after we are done with chores for some iron ores. Hey, that rhymed. We stayed in the mines until it got late and finished with a pretty good haul of iron ores. And that's pretty much all we did today. Day 259, someone in Twitch chat enlightened me about the Statue of Perfection. So we got it and plonked it under a tree. We also crafted more kegs and plonked that down in our shed. After all of the morning chores are completed, we head to Ginger Island and was greeted with a big harvest of berries and corn. We also spent another day at the dig site hoping for a fossilized rib to drop, to no avail. We did get the artifact troves and some omni geodes, and after that we head home and straight to bed. Day 260 is a beautiful day for autumn rain. We were done with chores and then we head to Clint to crack some geodes, and we luckily found another thing to donate to the museum. We then head to Ginger Island, still hunting for the elusive head fossil and ribs fossil of the big guy by looking for artifact spots, golden coconuts, and some bone nodes. After coming up empty yet again, we head home and did a little mini mine delving for some more copper before being done for the day. Day 261 starts by crafting and placing some kegs before we get started on chores. After we're finished on the farm, we head to Ginger Island once again to hopefully get the missing fossil piece we need. That hope was dashed. And after that, we do a little bit of decorating for the Ginger Island farmhouse before returning home for the day and calling it a night. Day 262 is a day for some geode cracking. We head to Clint after chores and crack geodes, and we finally got a head fossil. We also remembered to check the Statue of Perfection today for some free iridium ores. We then head to Ginger Island yet again to toil against RNG with no success. We head home after doing work on the Ginger Island farm and place down grass and pathways leading to the Statue of Perfection, as well as the Mushroom Cave from our main path network. We got a batch of wine done by nighttime and sleep after we shipped those. Day 263 is another autumn rain, but other than that, it's just business as usual at the farm. After chores are done, we once again head to Ginger Island. I am not stopping until the fossils are completed. We get a bountiful harvest of various things waiting for us at the farm on Ginger Island, but alas, no luck on the fossil front. We then head back to the valley empty-handed and call it a night, where a crop fairy visited us. Day 264 started with the usual chores on top of harvesting the mature pumpkin the fairy gracefully gave us. We then head to Pierre's to buy grass, this time for the ranch area and not just decoration. After that, we chartered the boat to Ginger Island to once again test our fossil luck, to no success. We then head back home and realized that today is a raspberry harvest day, so we collected what our trusty Junimos have harvested and head to bed after. Day 265, we spend doing chores and contending with fossil RNG. This pattern will continue until the elusive ribs are in my hands. After failing today's RNG check, we spend the day decorating the Ginger Island farmhouse. I want a nice sunroom with pots of coffee and tea at the back of the main farmhouse room. So we use the china cabinet and the deluxe fish tank as a neat little divider, and we also begin fishing for Ginger Island specific fishes to put in the tank. We head home after and be done for the day. Day 266 starts with a harvest of starfruit on top of the normal chores we need to do. We decide it's also a good day to stock up on some things that need repeated buying, so we head to Marnie's to stock up on a lot of hay and to Sandy's to beef up our starfruit seed stock. Today is also a fishing day, as we try to catch the angler, and I kid you not, we got him on the first cast. We then head to the pier to fish ourselves a seaweed because we need things to decorate the Ginger Island farmhouse aquarium. Finding a single seaweed proved to be more difficult than finding an angler, and it took us a long time, so by the time we find one, it was late and we head to bed. Day 267 started normal on the chores front, and since we need some pots, I cooked up some quartz and crafted the necessary pots before heading to Ginger Island. No luck on the RNG front today. We did fish up a stingray from the Pirate Cove. We then head to the farmhouse to drop in the new fish and decors to make the aquarium look snazzy. We tackle the big harvest waiting outside before returning to the valley and calling it a night. Day 268 is business as usual on the farm. Since we wanted to plant tea in the plant sunroom, I headed to Carol's to trigger her friendship event in which we got high together off of tea. After a said event, we head to Ginger Island to contend with fossil RNG yet again. We plop down extra flooring and the plant pots before heading back to the valley for the day. We decided also before bed to go on a foraging run since we need wild seeds for the tea. Day 269, nice, is a rainy day, nice, where we find that Caroline mailed us the recipe to craft some tea and also a cranberry harvest. We went on another foraging run, finding all we need for the seeds and crafted our tea. We then head to Ginger Island to plant them. We also harvested the blueberries and hops that were ready before going back to the farm and ending the day. Day 270 is raining for the second day in a row. We find the rest of our pumpkins are ready to harvest. We then head to Clint's after chores to have our axe upgraded to iridium. I believe I got jokingly flamed in chat for not having tools that are upgraded to max. After that, we chart the boat to Ginger Island, and on top of some crops being ready to harvest, we got our first mango. We do a little decorating on the island farmhouse before going home and going to bed. Day 271 is the third rainy day in a row. We got a batch of wine ready to ship on top of the usual farm work. We head to Ginger Island straight after and was greeted by another bountiful harvest. We planted coffee alongside the tea and head back home right after. Day 272 is a day of shocking implications. If the lava eel pond can give us spicy eel, does that mean they're cannibals? That question and more haunted our minds as we head to the Stardew Valley Fair. Our Grange display is a caviar surrounded by truffles, which in hindsight is pretty extra and grand. We asked that it be judged and found that this year too we crushed Pierre's hope and dreams. We head home and sleep with a smile on our face. Also, we're having another baby. Day 273 is farm work as usual. We pick up our iridium axe and surrender our hoe to be iridiumized next. After that, we head to Ginger Island, still wrestling with fossil RNG, but at least we have decent harvest awaiting us. We also use this time to start concepting the bedroom for the island farmhouse, and after that we head back to the valley and call it a day. Day 274, we got a big harvest of cranberries to go through on top of the usual chores. And after that we again head to Ginger Island to contend with the volcano this time around, as well as the usual fossil RNG. The goal is to get more cinder shards so we could get the 100 cinder shard bed from the island exchange. All in all, the excursion went decently, but I wasn't killing the floating fire wisps at this point, so I missed out on a good chunk of cinder shards. After we reached the top once more, we head back home and straight to bed. Day 275, we got another harvest of star fruits ready to go. After working at the farm, we head to Ginger Island as usual. We found a decent harvest was waiting for us at the farm. We even asked the parrot for the farm obelisk to be built. We then start decorating the bedroom of the farmhouse proper. We then use the obelisk to go home and call it a night. Day 276 is another rainy day. After we're done with chores, we head to Clint to pick up our hoe before heading to Ginger Island. Sadly, fossil RNG still hasn't been kind to us, but at least we got a harvest of grapes and hops. Minus the bed, I think we are done with the Ginger Island farmhouse for now, and we head back home to rest. Day 277 is business as usual for us at the farm. We used today to crack open some geodes, sadly opening nothing to donate. We then asked Clint to upgrade our watering can to copper before charting the boat to Ginger Island. Unfortunately, today is also another unlucky day in the fossil front. We head home empty-handed and checked the traveling merchant lady, who luckily has a nautilus shell for us. We chucked said shell into the sturgeon pond, completing the quest, and we shipped another batch of wine before heading to bed. Day 278, we have our standard routine of doing chores and going to Ginger Island after. Today is another unlucky day in the fossil RNG front, but we harvested and shipped what we can from the Ginger Island farm before heading back to the valley. We spend the rest of the day in the mines getting some more copper before heading back home and calling it a day. Day 279, we start the day by crafting and plonking down 2 more kegs on top of our normal everyday chores. As usual, we head to Ginger Island and we hit the jackpot finally on the fossilized ribs. We immediately ran and donated it to Professor Snail and claim our rightful rewards. We planted the banana sapling on the farm and harvested everything we can before heading into the volcano and buy a bridge. We tried fighting the mobs on the first floor, but without food it's not really doable, so we retreat and head back to the valley to rest up. Day 280, we got a harvest of yams on top of the usual farm work. We resume our quest for more kegs and delve into the mines for copper and iron. We head home once the day grows late, crafted and placed a couple kegs, and head to bed. Day 281 is a business as usual day for the farm. After chores are finished, we head south into Cindersap to chop down trees, and after Cindersap has been sufficiently deforested, we head back into the farm. We crafted some more kegs and placed them before deciding to go to Ginger Island, and we harvested the crops that were ready and shipped them before heading back to the valley to be done for the day. Day 282, we prep for a volcano climb after chores are done. With food and bombs at the ready, we chart the boat and immediately throw ourselves into the volcano. While I don't quite remember the reason for going into the volcano, it's probably more cinder shards. Unfortunately, we had to back out when we encountered a floor we can't beat without a watering can. Day 283 is the normal routine of farm chores into Ginger Island, where we have a bountiful harvest of many crops awaiting us. After they've been picked and shipped, we head back into the valley to enjoy the Spirits Eve festival. We did the maze, collect another golden pumpkin before heading home for the night. Day 284 is the last day of fall. We squeeze in another cranberry harvest before the season ends, and we have a batch of wine ready on top of that. We head into Clint's after chores to claim our copper hoe and crack open some geodes. We mosey on over to Ginger Island and planted more mango saplings around the farm, and that's basically all we did on the island, and we head home after. And on the way back to the farm, we gave Harvey the golden pumpkin, and then we head to bed, closing the fall chapter on this year's story. Day 285, winter is here, and we got a harvest of star fruits. We do what chores we can before heading to Clint and surrendering our watering can for upgrades. We head south to try and catch the glacier fish, but boy was it speedy. But thankfully, with enough luck and a trap bobber, we managed to reel it in just fine after a couple tries. And with that, we completed the first batch of legendary fishes. After loitering around with not much to do, we turn in for the day. Day 286, we do the routine of farm chores and Ginger Island after. A hefty harvest of crops are waiting for us there, and after we shipped it, we head to the east and give the gorilla a banana in exchange for some walnuts. We then enter the volcano, determined to get to 100 cinder shards for the wild double bed. Sadly, we're stuck on the first floor because the layout prevents us from progressing without a watering can. So we go home, head to bed, and our son Milo is born. And we also get a combat level up to level 9. Day 287, we ponder how crazy it is that we are still combat level 9. We reclaim our steel watering can and head to the island yet again. We contend with another wave of harvest before diving back into the volcano. The climb went decently well and we gathered a decent chunk of cinder shards. We then head home and call it a night. Day 288 is chores as usual into Ginger Island as usual. We only need 22 more cinder shards for exactly 100, and I am determined to get it today. After cleaning up the farm and shipping what we can, we ascended the volcano once more. The run is going pretty smoothly and we are able to get the 22 cinder shards by 8 PM. We then head back to the valley and call it a day. Day 289 starts by us finally, at the very least, giving proper floor and wallpaper to the kids' room. We then do our chores, pocket our 100 cinder shards, and then we head to Ginger Island. We beeline to the trader and claim our wild double bed and replace the bed in the island farmhouse. With this, we can call the farmhouse and Ginger Island as a whole complete. We head outside, harvest and ship what we can before heading back to the valley. We use this opportunity to check in with Granny Evelyn and get her cookie recipe. And with our business concluded for the day, we retire to bed. Day 290. For the past few days, I've been crafting kegs. We are so close to finishing, but we are gated mostly by wood because it's winter. After chores, we head back to Clint's to upgrade our watering can to golden before heading to the mines for copper. Delving was the only thing we did for the rest of the day, and once we get home, we got another batch of wine ready to go and called it a night after it was shipped. Day 291, we head to the mines for some iron after we are done with chores. We got a decent haul and return home after the day grew late, and after leaving the iron to smelt through the night, we go to sleep. Day 292, we store the iron we smelted last night, and now all we need to do is wait on oak resin and the wood. We finish our chores, smelt some iridium, and head south to participate in the Festival of Ice. As usual, we entered the fishing competition, and as usual, we won. The festival concluded quite late, so we head to bed straight after. Day 293, we bought the icy rug yesterday from the festival and we placed it in between the two kit beds. After we finished chores, we head to Clint's, reclaim our golden watering can and immediately surrender it again to make it iridium. We then head to Cindersap and begin chopping down all the trees left that we can see. The wood we gathered are not quite enough for both the kegs and the casks, but it's a start. We head home, crafted 3 more kegs to add to the collection, and then we head into our basement, claimed the H wine that was ready and crafted some more casks before calling it a night. Day 294 begins with a starfruit harvest on top of our usual farm work. After work we head to the mountain, this time to chop down all available trees. Those woods turn into more casks for the basement. Quite lost on what to do, we accepted a quest from the special request board to deliver 100 bone specimen. And after we accepted that, we head to Ginger Island and we harvested the abundance of crops we have and head to the dig site where we indeed got some bone fragments. After that we head home and go to sleep for the day. Day 295 is just chores as usual. After we're done with the farm, we head to Clint's to reclaim our iridium watering can and crack some geodes. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything new to donate, but we did find that fossil counts towards the quest. I had the bright idea to head into the quarry cave, remembering being attacked by floating skeleton heads. Why these things doesn't drop bone fragments is truly a baffling thing for me. At least we claimed the golden site, and now we have the best tools available to us. After that we head to Ginger Island, but the bone nodes have yet to meaningfully respawn, and we try to go into the volcano to kill the swimming lava monsters, but they're time consuming to kill, and 2 of them dares to drop a dragon tooth instead of bone fragments. We go home that day bereft of meaningful quest progress and head to bed slightly dejected. Day 296, after the chores are done, we head to what should have been the most logical first place for bones, the skeleton in the mines. We spend the entire day canvassing every single floor that they can spawn in and destroying every single one of them. It yielded quite a few bones, but it's gonna be close on whether we can complete the quest or not. Once we're done with the mines, we head home and call it for today. Day 297, we got a large batch of wine ready to age on top of our regular chores. Also, we forgot to replenish the silo yesterday. Thankfully, every animal were still fed and we caught it early. After work around the farm is done, we head to the Ginger Island dig site. Every bone fragment helps and time's a ticking. We didn't even check on the farm, we just headed straight home and back into the mines. The frustrating part is that the bones aren't even guaranteed to drop from the skellies, so things weren't progressing quite as smoothly as I had hoped. Once the day grew truly late, we head home to get some rest. Day 298. Today is the last day for the bones and we need 31 pieces. We did our work around the farm before going to Ginger Island dig site yet again. We gather up what bone from the meager amount of bone nodes before heading to the mines after. It seems that it's an unlucky day for us because despite the large number of skeletons, there's quite a few that dropped absolutely nothing. Once we reach the last possible floor the skeletons can spawn, we are 9 bones off and we were sadly unable to complete the request. This time, truly dejected, we head to bed. Day 299, we do chores as usual. We also finally set the wallpaper and floor for our wine shed and repair the broken fences with what little wood we have. I was then kindly reminded yet again that you can actually just buy normal wood from Robin. And while normally it's not good value, we are at this point in the game rich enough that the impact of this purchase on our finances will be negligible. We head home after, finish our collection of kegs for the wine shed and casks for the wine basement. Today is also the first day of night market. There's actually little for us to do here but to buy the painting and a silly new hat. We then head home and to bed. Day 300, Milo is awake and we give him the good old toss up. We then head out to do our chores and after that we head to Ginger Island and harvested all the crops waiting for us. After everything is shipped, we head back to the valley and attend the night market, buying the painting and a second suit of armor to replace that weird statue we had in the upstairs room. And with that, we close our 300 days of Stardew Valley. But of course, we are not done. As always, here's the rest of winter supercut. We begin to lay the groundwork for the perfection run by giving out birthday gifts to the wizard, the Granny Evelyn, Leah, but she's already maxed, and Clint, as well as building the Earth Obelisk on the farm. We also start to shower Leo with mangoes every chance we get, netting us his first heart cutscene. We are Sam's Secret Santa for the year, and we got him a cactus fruit. And our Secret Santa for this year is Maru, who gave us an emerald. We finally dug up the final journal scrap that gives us a walnut, which also gives us an ostrich egg in tandem. We then built the ostrich incubator, conveniently using the bones we collected for that failed quest, and began incubating the egg. And we spent the last day of the year fishing in the mountain lake, just chilling and awaiting the new year. And with that marks every notable thing we did in winter. And for the last segment of the video, here is the complete farm tour of our 300 days of work. Welcome to the tour. Let's start with our bedroom. We tried to make a fisherman / bohemian style with this bed as the centerpiece and the neutral colors, but sadly the rug selection in this game is a little bit lacking. But I think we made something pretty workable here. I think this looks pretty decent and pretty nice. We have Leah's area, obviously. We've added a loom and both the catalogs are resting here. I think they match the vibe. They match her vibe. And of course, we have our collection of legendary fishes, plus a halibut. These are my pride and joy. Love fishing in this game. It's very relaxing. Do not mind my son and daughter. We have this little computer nook that we added. This is where I do my quote BNB stuff, because obviously if you want to run a BNB you would need computer and internet connection for bookings and stuff. So this is where we do all that in lore. Moving into our main living space, we have our big TV room. It's very cozy and very private. We have a big plant as a divider here. I think it's very nice. We also have a jukebox. It's very simple, but still very presentable. Our kitchen is also very simple. We have our portrait of Marnie that we painted, as well as just a simple set of dining table and chairs with a nice house plant on top. Moving on to the upstairs landing, we have another collection of fish. This time these are the deep sea fish. We have 2 blobfishes, a squid, and this weird fish thing, as well as other collectibles like the duck feather and the rabbit's foot, as well as essentially statues, these armors and the bear. And then we have the kids' room. These mean to evoke under the sea. I think it does it quite well. But yeah, we keep it simple. We have the 2 beds, the crib, as well as some toys and a nice painting of the outdoors. Of course, that's all the rooms in the house. And then the wine basement. This is just where we age our starfruit wine. I like it here. These wines make a lot of money. Big fan. And of course, going outside, we have the immediate area around the house where I do all my crafting and smelting and making more jade. But this, 1 second while I water the bowl. Yeah, this area is sort of a communal dining space that in my head, the guest could opt in and have the property owner, basically us, cook meals for them. So if they opt in, they could dine with us and make it a little bit more of a communal experience staying in the Dukedom farm. Of course, to the left, we have our mushroom cave. I think It's neat that we grow our own mushroom, and I think they are more health and safety compliant instead of the other option, which is, hey, look at the fruits that the bats left us. And of course, next to the cave, we have the greenhouse. We are currently growing starfruit, and we have another dining experience here. You can have your dinner be brought here by us, and you can just sit here, enjoy the vibe, the calming vibe. It's much more relaxing when they're a little bit more grown than this, but we also grow our coffee here as well as oranges. I think this is a very, very neat experience that we offer. And then if we go down these stairs, to the left there's a little bit of a nook for the trophy that we have, as well as Grandpa's shrine, and a lot of trees. And this is our wine making shed. It's just a large selection of huge swath of barrels. We added this little viewing area for the guests. Obviously, if you're playing Stardew, normally you would fill this to the brim with barrels, but we are making this presentable here. We come to one of our lodging solutions. This is the red cabin. It's red. We have a simple kitchen, a simple TV living area, as well as a double bed in the bedroom. It's pretty barren, but it's cozy. We have similar vibes here. This is the blue room. It's blue. The layout is the same, but it's blue. And on top of the hill here, next to the well, we have the green one. The green room is actually two single beds instead of double beds, but otherwise the living space remains same layout wise. Statue of Perfection we put there. We make our own caviar and lava age roe. This is our lava eel pond. And this is our sturgeon pond. A huge field. Well, not huge, but it's a pretty decently sized field with 2 bee houses. And we come to our famous ranch. Here's the coop. It's a pretty bare bones setup, but I say that we have a heater. We have the automatic feeder, as well as the auto grabber. And if we go up, we can see this is the barn. Similar setup to the coop. We have an auto feeder, we have a heater, we have the auto grabber, and we have an ostrich currently incubating. That's exciting, an exotic animal. And then we have this shed where we process our animal products. This is the oil maker for truffles, this is the mayonnaise maker for the eggs, and the cheese maker. We also have this tiny getaway corner for either Leah or myself when we want to just escape from the outside world. And that's basically it for the farm. I think it came out pretty nice. It's offering some pretty luxurious amenities like truffles and caviar, on top of being I think a neat place to be. Of course, if this is not to your liking, we have a more tropical property you can rent. Now, let us move there and let me show you what we have on that one. And welcome to our Ginger Island property. This location is just south of Stardew Valley by the sea. Before we take a closer look at the farm, let us check out the lodgings. This is way more involved than what we have at the farm. Starting with the bedroom, we have a way more cozy and way more intimate setup here. It is like a tropical getaway. We of course have our living space furnished with the TV as well as 2 very comfy couches. Obviously you can cook your own meal or have us deliver your meals to you from the farm. We have a very neat dining area that is decorated with the fishes that we fished from the local ocean. We have a stingray as well as a lionfish, local to Ginger Island. As well as if you want to brew your own coffee or brew your own tea, we have a sunroom here set up with coffee plants as well as tea plants. Now, if we look closer at the farm, please, my one warning to you is please keep within the boundaries of the property. Do not go past that fence and do not go past the river. We have mango trees and banana trees all over the farm, as well as some strawberries, corn. We have hops and kale here. We have blueberries, eggplants, and grapes. This might evoke the image of a rainbow in terms of the color, and that is something that we strive for. Ginger Island locale is very unique, in which we can grow any crops we want all year round, so we are taking advantage of this. On the property also we have our very own private beach with a shipwreck. If you want to go explore, please don't. But if you're gonna ignore my warnings, please do so at your own risk. Thank you very much. And I believe that includes everything that the Dukedom Farm and Ranch is able to offer you in terms of our BNB experience. Thank you very much for watching. The next video on the series will be on how we can take this and perfect it. Okay, dropping kayfabe. Next video is gonna be perfection run. We're gonna try to perfect the save. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye.